Hello.
Hey, Lou.
Hey,
How's everyone doing?
Just getting some food ready. I'll be right back.
All right. I think Ian said he was going to be a little late, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So we'll give Mary a couple more minutes. Who's that?
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, hey, Steve.
I Miriam is joining very shortly. She's just trying to round up animals and get situated.
That's fine.
All right. So how's everybody doing?
Just barely alive tonight.
Good. How about you?
Oh, just a really long day at work and then a therapy listening session with one of my best friends that's going through a tough time. So kind of a stressful day, but now I'm going to be having fun. So it's going to be a good end to my day.
Well, hopefully.
I'm trying to stay positive. So just help me out here.
Hey, fantasy stress beats real life stress any day.
Yeah.
Okay. I can deal.
Is that Mary? Yeah, it's Mary.
Hello.
Good evening. So I don't think Ian said how long he'd be, so we could probably get started.
Yeah.
I will agree with you, Lou.
Oh, I appreciate that.
In case you need votes or whatever.
As long as I have everyone's permission.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, let me check one thing real quick.
Yeah, just how many random encounters are we gonna have ambush us trying to sleep right now?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
What's a random encounter?
Right, they're all planned.
Exactly.
Vampire
there's
ambush,
no random
necromancer
to it.
betrayal.
Yeah, the ambushes are all planned. There's nothing random about them. No, I was checking something else.
Yeah.
In addition to the random encounters, the other deadly things he's checking.
Yeah.
It's not that deadly. Actually, my Sunday group wiped this weekend.
Oh,
TPK?
actual TPK? Like legit?
Yeah, it was a legit TPK.
Wow.
Shame on you.
I didn't get to do anything. I stepped forward. I got put to sleep. Then I got hit by 2 lightning bolts. And I was
Oh, you weren't
unconscious.
DMing.
No. This was my
Never
friend
mind.
running the game.
Not shame on you then.
Oof.
No, I was. Yeah, we got jumped by a bunch of drow.
Oof.
And
Harsh.
yeah, like my I keep wanting to say arcanist, but it's the artificer. Yeah, he got shot and I failed my save and was asleep. Then a bunch of lightning bolts hit us, so I automatically failed the save and I was out.
Wow.
Oof. Yeah, I think I've never had a TPK, knock on wood, but all the times that I've been
definitely have.
in situations where my party was in pretty grave danger, it's always been something like that where some members of the group never really got any turns or were out for a number of turns because of some sort of crowd control or some sort of incapacitation or something. That's always so dangerous.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think we're re-rolling for next week. It was the Mad Mage thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
How far in were you? What level?
I think we had just gotten the Skullport and we were trying to move merchandise through the Drow territory.
Oh,
They
I don't
ambushed us.
remember I don't remember the level numbers in the actual dungeon. I meant level, character level.
Oh, I think I was level 7.
Okay.
Yeah, so we weren't babies, but it was pretty brutal.
Do you have a policy on TPKs? Have you run one here on this server?
He
I don't
has,
think.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
thought you did.
I did have one group wipe once, but it
Okay.
wasn't an actual death. They were taken prisoner.
Ah.
Actually, never mind. I've had it happen 3 times, where the group basically lost, quote unquote.
Uh-huh.
All right, I think it's working. Just double check. Okay, so since oh darn it, closed all my sheets. Thanks, Roll20. One moment. Thanks, Roll20. Does anyone remember Thanks, Obama? That's what I was thinking of when I said that.
I was about to say thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama. Man, that brings back memories. What a simpler time.
Sure.
Uh,
let's see. Calendar. Oh, that's what it was. The music turned off. Alright, so I'll give a quick recap from my notes. Basically, the last game was mostly fighting the elven spirits. You did manage to defeat them. It was a long, drawn-out battle, but you were victorious. You found some magical things. The mithril chain, the rods, and the frost giant strength potion. And I think that's where we ended, right?
Yeah, we got the warning from our resident necromancer about vampires wandering about, and then we were hemming and hawing about where to go to sleep.
Oh, right, the vampire warning. So I guess, yeah, you were thinking about what to do next, where to rest. It is... Whoops. It is the 62nd of autumn, 2:30 p.m. And... let's see. I think, Reed, you would be up to scribe this week if you're okay with that.
Okay.
And Gamork, you would be on deck for next week. Your first scribing session.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Except that we won't be here.
Oh, well, that could make it more complicated. So if you are not here, I don't know. We'll see who wants to take your place. Are you
I do
both
love
out
a
this week?
challenge.
Yeah, if I wasn't sure actually if you were treating next Monday as a holiday or not, but I probably will be out next Monday as well.
Is next Monday a holiday?
It's Valentine's
Not
Day.
a real holiday.
Oh,
It's a
I
commercial
was gonna say.
holiday.
It's a Hallmark
Spoken
holiday.
from the lips of
A
a woman.
Hallmark holiday. I have no affinity for February 14th. So.
All right. Well, are both of you out next Monday?
Yeah.
We are taking a long-awaited vacation, and we'll be out for the next 2 Mondays. I did post it in
Oh,
attendance, but it's
okay.
been like 2 months ago that I posted it, so I can post it again.
All right. Well, it's fine if it's in there. I'll go look for it. We'll see.
It is
I
our
can post
20th.
it too.
It is our 20th anniversary.
All right.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah. Congrats. So the two of you were out, and you said you were out as well next week,
Trey.
Trey.
I will confirm that and post it in the attendance, but that would be my assumption that I'll probably get in trouble if I play next week. So.
That's fair. So we can still play with 3 people. Once we get down to 2, it's a little bit iffy, but as long as everyone else is still in next week, we'll probably be fine.
You guys are welcome to play my character. I do have her Roll20 sheet all up to date so that she can be played from there instead of just from D&D Beyond.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll talk about it. But right now, so yeah, looks like the group is in this room here. I'm not sure if you were planning to camp there or what was going on, but that's where you currently are. What does the party want to do?
I am presently in favor of accepting the necromancer's invitation. But I don't know where everyone else is leaning.
Oh, we talked about camping here with the golem on guard, but yeah, I think the other option would be to let the ghouls guard us if we feel like we trust this lady.
She has offered her area as a place to camp.
Did she leave, or did she wait for us to decide?
I believe she left. She went back to her part of the dungeon.
Okay.
She was basically giving you her thanks and telling you because you look beat up, she said, if you need to rest, you're more than welcome to rest with us.
Well, I think maybe having ghoulies around may be a good thing, because some of the stuff tribe been fighting comes through walls. Maybe Golem not able to guard us.
Yeah, we're We're all in need of a long rest, right?
I definitely am.
I am. This is the first time I've ever used all of my hit dice.
It seems we are decided then.
It
Yes.
seems so, yeah. We're gonna
Yeah.
reluctantly accept the necromancer's offer and camp down in one of her rooms.
Alright, you bring the golem with you?
Of course.
Oh yeah.
So
Rocky,
you
yeah.
have her area mapped out. You can go ahead and just pull your tokens in over there. I'm not gonna jump you on the way over there.
How kind.
How kind. The golem will follow you over.
A golem is decent insurance against getting jumped by ghouls if the necromancer decides to betray us.
At least might give us buy us some time to wake up and engage.
Oh, wait, shoot. Did I?
Hmm?
Right about here.
I'm in the right place, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's where the
Okay.
necromancer Elodie is.
Yeah. Sorry, for a second there, I thought I had 2 tokens on the map.
Okay, how do I draw my token in there?
From the journal, you just pull it on. Make sure you pull it by the name and not by the 3 lines.
Yeah. It's always confused me. That the text is what you have to click and drag and not the image to move a token.
Yeah,
Throws me off every single time.
agreed.
Oh boy, oh, now I'm lost. Oh goodness.
You're in the ghoul room. That's fine. I'll move you over here.
I actually did the same thing
Thank you.
initially myself. So.
All right.
Alright, so the group is bedding down for the evening in this room with Elodie.
Yeah, except I think we'll still do watches, I imagine.
Yeah.
Sure.
Also, Gabork, are you still carrying curse?
I don't know. I have a curse on me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got cursed when you broke through that door.
How do I get rid of a curse?
I could remove for you, but I do not know how long curse persist, so perhaps wait. I do not know.
Well, give me an Arcana check.
Boop.
So,
Is that for Sim or for...
so the Bestow Curse spell generally only lasts a minute. Since he seems to still be cursed, you would guess it's going to stay on him until it's magically dispelled.
Okay.
Come here, Gabork. I will take care of this before we rest.
Thank you.
So, I do not actually have remove curse, so I've got to spend some money on greater restoration.
You don't have to spend money on me. I'll just wait and see what happens.
Sim will proceed to ignore you unless you're going to physically stop him from casting the spell.
I'm cursed. I don't think I have the energy to stop you.
Well, there we
physically.
go.
Alright, so yes, you would cast Greater Restoration, and Gamork, you would feel much better as the nullifying, or the, what would the word be? The sapping energies of the curse are lifted from you, and you feel normal again.
I feel normal again.
And Sim, you spend the 100 gold pieces of components.
Yeah, I'm trying to edit my inventory now. It's just being finicky at me.
Alright, so the group is attempting to rest. Oh, and welcome. Did Ian join the chat? He joined the game.
I did.
Yep.
Welcome,
He's
Ian.
here.
Thank you very much. Sorry for my late arrival.
That's alright.
Well, we all died while you were gone, so...
Excellent! I got
Reroll.
a bunch of sheets I've been waiting to use.
Oh no, you're still alive.
Oh,
Well, okay.
for now. For now. So, you are attempting to rest. During the downtime, Beryl, are you doing anything?
I'm going to use a couple of my remaining spell slots first level to make some good berries before I go to sleep.
All right.
And then I wouldn't mind trying to make a potion
All right. Actually,
during my watch.
before we get to that, I
Okay.
just realized let's roll for random encounters. D20 someone. Because you are going to be in here a while. It's low likelihood because you have a lot of protection, but something might still happen. Alright, you're good. Beryl, so you said you are going to make a potion, and what else?
I used 2 first level spell slots
Good
for
berries.
to make 20 good berries. Yeah.
Alright, so you cast Goodberry twice, producing a bunch of good berries. And what type of potion are you trying to brew?
It's a standard healing.
Alright, so give me an alchemy check. I think that would take you a couple hours and you would be successful. So go ahead and spend the materials and you create a potion.
And that's 30 golden materials, correct, for the uncommon?
Let me check. I don't remember.
I
off the
apologize.
top
I
of
guess
my
I should know
head.
by now, but I know we've revised it a couple times, so I just wanted to make sure.
Let's see. Standard healing potion. You need a receptacle, an hour of time, 15 gold pieces of rare herbs, 15 of any component, religious
Okay.
nature or arcane.
Is rare mushrooms okay?
Yeah, rare mushrooms is fine.
Okay, so I'll take 15 from that and 15 from my nature agents.
Yep. And alchemy tools or herbalism kit. So I think you have all
Yep.
the stuff, as long
Yep.
as you have the bottle.
Yep, I'll expend the bottle and I'll put an extra a potion of healing in the bag of holding.
All right, Reed, are you doing anything during the downtime?
Nothing that I can think of.
All right, so you remain quietly on guard.
Did we already identify the new items?
Yes, I
Oh,
believe
okay.
so.
I think we did, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was.
Full of immovable rods and a mithril chain.
Yeah, and the potion of
That's
giant
right.
strength.
Sweet giant or sweet potion of fingernail.
You hope it's a fingernail. It might be a toenail.
And who do we
Actually, I
have?
think it is a toenail.
Who do we have? Do we have to be proficient in heavy armor in order to wear the mithril chainmail? Because doesn't that lighten it?
You would have to be proficient.
You still have to be
Actually, wait. Is it mithril or is it?
It's not elven
Mithril.
chain. It's mithril chain.
Okay.
So I think you still have to
Yes.
be proficient. You
Correct.
just don't have some
Okay,
of the
so I think
penalties.
is May June? No, wait, because he doesn't wear armor. Can any of us wear that?
The Mork, I think, can.
I
Although
don't
it might
think
be a
not since-
downgrade for him.
Not since we
Yeah.
re-rolled him.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh.
Wait,
I just was
he
checking
is-
because
He is a fighter, correct?
Oh,
'Cause
I am a.
all fighters have proficiency with heavy armor.
okay.
Yeah.
So then-
Do you need a refresher on what the mithril chain does?
Yeah, is it mithril chain or is it elven chain? Because I thought I remembered it being something that anybody could use, but I could be
Here's
wrong.
what I put in the inventory last week.
Okay, so it is mithril. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if that is what it is.
Right. I mean, unless I misunderstood.
When did I change from urban bounty hunter?
Did you
Let's
change?
see.
I don't remember changing the background, but maybe we did.
Oh,
I know we went through everything, but
So the thing that mithril chain does, if it's light armor or medium, it can be worn under normal clothes. This isn't though. But as far as the mechanical stuff, it doesn't impose disadvantage on stealth checks and has no strength requirements.
okay.
But
So
you would still need
Gamork-
training.
Gamork, you're wearing studded leather, but you have an insane dex bonus. So you actually are getting 17 AC from your studded leather, and you would only get 16 from this chain.
Right. So not a strict upgrade for anyone.
Okay, but a valuable thing we can use for trading or buying other things later.
Yeah.
I just
Let's
wanted
use
to
it
make
for
sure
the
we put
group.
it on. I just wanted to make sure we put it on someone if there was someone who could benefit from it while we're resting.
Yeah. What
Okay,
about
go ahead,
Anna? What about Anna Kate? Is Anna Kate doing anything?
I am nursing my considerable wounds
Fair enough.
and meditating.
All right. May June.
That's a good question. Are we currently on map, or is this Theater of the Mind?
We're on map in this
Okay.
location.
Okay. Am I there? Am I going to
Don't
duplicate
think
myself?
so. You might have to pull yourself on because I think
Yeet.
you're.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't here at the start.
That's right. Okay. Very well. Okay. Well then, yeah, I think I'll probably just be sitting on this pipe here, and I think I'm just gonna be like reflecting on the good old days with Cao Meng, because there's potentially in the near-ish future there might be some sad times ahead with Cao Meng, so I'm just kind of reliving them while I
Aw.
got them.
You
Is
think
anyone
about the
carrying
old
more than
days.
one level of exhaustion right now?
I just have one.
Just
I have one.
Okay. If anyone had more than one, might have been worth blowing another restoration, but
I remember when we all got knocked out by the Banshees, but then we stayed overnight in the room to
Yeah.
the
Okay.
east.
right.
What about Gamork? You doing anything?
I'm gonna ask Elodie if she wants to cuddle with me for warmth while we rest.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh boy, good at these. Persuasion.
Reed's getting jealous.
Reed's like, I'm the ladies' man. How dare
Oh
you?
no, I was
So
forced
Lady
into that
and she's
position.
undead? Come
Oh,
on.
it's these angel wings. Those angel
Well,
wings.
this one's actually warm in flesh and blood.
So
Reed
that's,
prefers Dinara.
That's
could've-
performance. You need a persuasion.
Oops. Wow.
Ah, you can't let that 19 on the die ride. Oh, didn't need to.
Wow.
So she's a bit surprised by your offer. She kind of looks you over and says, you're a Celestial, aren't you?
Yes.
I didn't realize Celestials like cuddling with mortals.
Gamork sparkles extra hard as he flirts.
I need sunlight for that.
Okay.
No, that's a vampire, I think.
Oh yeah, never mind. I take that back then.
So yeah, she would say, I thought, I didn't think your kind enjoyed being with mortals.
I'm not a usual celestial.
She kind of looks at you. She looks at the rest of your group. She says, you know, you're not bad looking, but I feel like cuddling with you in front of all these people might be a little strange, even for me.
I tell everybody else to leave the room then.
I ignore
And
you.
then nobody listens to me.
everyone just looks at
literally-
you, then goes
Literally
back
not listening
to
to you at all.
yeah. Just
Look,
starts
I
ignoring
value
you.
your friendship, but I will not risk actual danger to allow you a chance for a cuddle.
Are there any NPCs here?
No, just
Okay.
Ellen.
The ghouls.
Well, a whole lot of ghouls and a golem.
All right. So yeah, she says, maybe ask me another time when there aren't so many people around.
All right.
What does Sim want to do? Or is there anything else you want to do, Gamork?
No, I shot my shot, and that with the 22 got shot down.
You
so-
might
It was
be.
a successful shot. You just gotta.
Yeah.
You gotta call me later. That's solid.
That's like, here's my
Yeah.
number.
You're
Yeah, you
laying
got-
groundwork.
Yeah.
Now's
you
not a
got-
good time.
Exactly. Although you might be a little bit concerned that she would ask everyone to leave, but wouldn't be weirded out by all the ghouls just sitting here watching. But in any case, Sim, what are you gonna do?
I am going to study my copies and rubbings from that brass tablet because I'm still curious about whether I can learn anything more about Golemcraft from that thing.
So
Maybe actually examining the golem too to see if there are any marks on it that are visible from the outside or around.
I believe that tablet was more of like something holding the energy that helped maintain the golems. I don't know. Did I say it actually had a recipe for creating golems?
No. It had writing of various kinds or symbols of various kinds, which weren't
Gotcha.
like I
Yeah.
mean it's runes that I can't read with my magic reading thing. I'm just curious about them.
Yeah, so you you might guess, and you have Arcana training.
I have Arcana expertise.
Okay, so yeah, you'd guess that the symbols are more meant to hold magic than to actually convey a language.
Mhm.
Many times, symbols and different like old languages that don't exist anymore are used to hold power. But you keep looking at it, maybe studying it a bit. All right, so you all kind of do your thing as time passes.
And
Yeah.
sorry, I did give out 3 good berries to each of my party, one for dinner and a couple just to keep on hand for emergencies tomorrow. And I'll share a couple with Elodie as well, just to be courteous.
Oh, how kind. She smiles. Takes one. All right, so yeah, time would pass. You still do watches for the evening, I assume.
Surely do.
Yes.
You would get through the evening, and it would now be the 63rd of autumn at 7 a.m., and the group would level up.
Ooh.
Oh wow!
Oh.
Hey, Lou,
Yes.
I have a question because this has never happened before. I have
Leveling up?
used. Yeah, it's never happened to me before. No. So in regaining only half of your hit dice,
It'd be
since
5.
I'm multi-classed,
Oh,
right?
I
You
see.
can
Do I?
pick them, I think.
I think you choose which
Can I?
ones you regain.
Yep.
I can choose. Excellent.
Yes, you
Excellent.
choose. So you probably always
Take
want
the
to choose
big
the high
ones.
ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm taking the big ones.
Story of my
All
life.
right, so level 11. Ooh.
Good thing
All
That's
that's
sorts of
happening.
great.
fancy things.
That's
Yes.
all our spellcasty friends are
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
souped up.
I was hoping to
Also,
do it at the end of last session, but we were not settled in yet, so.
this has actually never happened to me under Lou, so I actually don't know the rules. I forget, how are we doing HP?
Average.
Just
Yep.
average. Great. Easy enough.
So what
Yep.
are you? You're a cleric?
I'm a warlock more than anything
Warlock.
else. I have 1 level of cleric.
Is Warlock D10 or D8?
D8.
Yeah, so you gain 5
Yep.
plus your con modifier.
Got it.
I think HP die is like the only time in D&D where averages are rounded up.
It's one of the
That
few times. Yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
right.
Decisions.
And I did, that's what I was kind of checking before I started, was to make sure the compendium is shared, which my book should be shared with the group now. Although I don't have any of the newer ones. No silvery barbs yet.
That
I
thing
hear
is
that's overpowered.
Yeah.
you can be very creative with it. That's for sure.
I feel it's powerful, but I don't think it's overpowered.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
I was worried about it with that one shot that I was running, and the player ended up using it twice, and I didn't think in either case that it was like
Well,
Too
most.
crazy.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Yeah.
And also, it's a spell. Like, if something's a spell, it's a resource, and you can run out of them. So, like, yeah, you can do it like 80, or, well, not 80, obviously, but like 8 or 9 times in a combat, but then you have no spells left. So,
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
not all as effective because those 8 or 9 times are different spell levels,
exactly, yeah. So, I think a lot of GMs who don't restrict resting are the ones who think it's overpowered. Like, if you don't have any consequences for resting, then sure, you could just keep resting and gaining all your resources back and doing it on every encounter, but if there's any type of danger to continually rest, I think it'll make it much more difficult to abuse it.
Yeah, makes sense.
But I'll give you all a moment to level.
You get another cantrip, and I don't even have one that I want.
Honestly, I haven't planned barrel. Like some characters, I know what to do when we level up, but I haven't really planned barrel this like past year. Like I
Well,
don't know what
Mine's
she's
Oh,
gonna
and an
do.
extra attack.
I just want both of the. Oh, are you all? Oh, if you're all fighter, 11's a fucking fun time for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get 3 attacks now.
Yep. And then if you action surge, you can do it 6 fucking times.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Lou, will you hate me if I triple class?
no.
You might
That's
hate
as
yourself
many-
in triple class.
That's as many
What?
attacks as I could take in a round. Honestly.
What did you say, Ian?
I said you might hate yourself if you triple class.
Well, I mean, I'm playing another triple class character in one of Lou's games, but no, let's see.
I feel like in most situations, tri-classing actually hurts you a little.
Oh, Steph.
Yeah.
How does
Yeah.
so? How
Well-
does so?
At
I
least
have
power-wise, not necessarily
I've just-
RP-wise.
I've just
Yeah,
leveled into a
That's the key.
I've just leveled into a class feature that grants a benefit at the end of a short or a long rest. Do I have to wait to rest again, or does that come online right here?
It would probably come online here.
All right. How many other people are with me? There's 5 other members of the party? Great.
Oh, you Celestial?
Yep. Everyone.
Sweet. Have hit
Everyone.
points.
Yeah, you can all take. Or you gain 9 temporary hit points. All the
Nice.
tribe.
Lovely.
Look, I just got. Yeah, this is good. I'm a fan of whatever that is.
Yep. Just a little
what
buffer
happened to
for
my
everyone.
token? I seem to be having technical issues here. My token disappeared.
Uh-oh.
I see you.
Right
Still.
here.
Yeah.
I see nothing. Actually, I deleted the torch, and now when I drag a torch out, it doesn't do anything. So
Oh,
I
wow.
see that.
Reloading.
is just,
I see 2 torches
Yep.
now.
sorry,
No,
you
you're
can
good.
delete one of them.
Delete them.
For boring, I get absolutely nothing this level up, but I'm sticking with Druid.
I didn't get.
I mean, you always get more
Oh
spells.
yeah, no, I get spell slots and I get HP. Next level up, she'll get the elemental wild shape, so that makes it worth it.
Ooh.
Man,
So
fire
it's-
elemental gets. Oh man, that's nutty.
It's always just kind of fun to get new goodies, and I think that's why I end up multi-classing so frequently with my characters.
Does piggyback riding on an earth elemental count as a valid mount?
Only if you're small.
Especially if that fire elemental has a wyvern mount.
I think
Only if you're small? I thought elementals were large size. Anyway.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
but-
I'm just being stupid.
Well,
I'm totally just kidding. I don't
You
think
would have
anyone's gonna ride
to-
piggyback on an elemental, but still.
you'd have to have a saddle on the elemental, which I'm not sure
Yeah.
you could do on a fire elemental. It would just burn.
That's why I said Earth.
Yeah, he's at Earth. Yeah. I
Earth is
think
the
you
only
can
rideable one.
get, probably an exotic saddle.
Yeah, I mean,
Custom make one or something.
Well, we had the Cavalier saddle, but I guess Rayless probably took that with him. So
Well, so
No.
that one was, I think, specifically only fit either horses or whatever it came on. Because there's a specific kind of saddle called exotic saddle, which is for like crazy shit like Pegasus and dragons and things like that.
yeah.
So we need one of those because Barrel's gonna have a wyvern mount soon. Don't forget.
You're gonna get a wyvern mount? Jeez.
So she says.
Allegedly.
What's the date, Lou? What's the in-game date?
Did it hatch yet?
It is.
No,
the
it won't have hatched yet.
63rd of autumn.
It's
right
like the
now.
72nd or something that we
Look,
expect it to hatch.
Alright, that was a misclick.
Who has that? Is that?
It's in the
still,
bag of holding.
Is that still you guys, or is that your wizard who has that?
No, we took it back. Actually, we might have left it at the house. Let me look here. Oh, it's at the house in Char. So if we don't get and its expected hatch date is 79th of autumn. So we still got some time. But we probably want to be there when a wyvern busts out of that egg in the middle of Char. Just saying.
Yeah,
Do
someone
they
has to feed
imprint?
it.
Hopefully, Beryl's hoping.
Alira,
She's been waiting like
Alira's gonna get it. She's gonna have her own wyvern mount. How's everyone doing with the level up?
I am complete.
I
Okay.
just need another moment, another maybe minute or two.
That's fine.
I have I had no decision points. It was this class or that class. All right, that's it.
Yeah, it's the nice thing about martial classes. They're usually pretty straightforward.
Yep. We'll say that this
Man.
morning, Mei Jun has been he's for anybody who's got like that, high passive perception, you realize that he's gotten quite proficient with his squats. That's where his improvement is at. It's in the legs.
Huh.
That's pretty much the only observation.
You can
Oh, man.
jump really high.
Sure.
oh, I can learn 5th level spells. Okay, cool. I did get something this this level up.
Yeah, it was like
Oh,
everybody
just-
gets something
just
at
5th
11.
level spells.
Oh
Well,
my
but
God.
she's
What a
multi-class.
disappointment.
I know. Boo.
But she's multi-class is what I meant. So she's not at 11 for anything for either of the classes. So yeah,
It's still, I think,
yeah.
one thing that is independent of class level is
Well, I get
cantrip
the
scale
spell.
based on your character level anyway.
Yeah. I get spell slots, but I don't always get actually new spells of that level.
Right.
Is the main thing I meant. Yeah. So,
Yep, roger that.
so that's cool. Let me see what I can pick from.
Alright, so Miss
man.
Wren, you're all set?
Yeah, there was really nothing for me to decide, so it was a pretty quick level up.
Mei Jun, you said you were good. Beryl, you said you were all set.
Yeah, I'm picking spells, but otherwise I'm good.
Sim, you're all set.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm considering switching one of my spells or one of my Eldritch Invocations, but
Yeah, those are some decision points. Those ones stick with you for a while.
Oh, you could think about it a little.
yeah, no, I think I'm good. I'll keep what I've got.
And Gamork, you just got an extra attack and some more hit points, I think, right?
Correct.
Maybe
Love
something.
that. Gotta love that triple attack though.
That's
Especially-
really cool.
Especially with a bow, axe and church, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, fight's over.
Does that make it boring for everybody else?
Fuck no. I love to see
Okay.
that shit.
Yep.
We need damage dealers. That's very important.
Yep.
There's
All right.
anything exciting that anybody can do is never boring for anybody else, in my opinion. Like, live
Also,
your life.
6 shots is probably not going to end a fight.
No, not unless it's
Not at this level. Yeah.
yeah.
It can
yeah.
be a game changer, though. But
It can definitely start things off on a crazy foot, especially if you like apply like. Oh, that would be crazy if you. I don't know how many arcane shots you have, but if you could like grasping arrow like 6 different guys, sucks to suck.
Ah, yes. I might take direction from you guys when I am in combat, if that's acceptable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
But yes, I'm good to go.
yeah, let's go.
Alright, Reed, are you all good?
Or
Alright, so yeah, what does the group want to do in the morning?
Why does the torch go out every time I move? God.
It doesn't
Does
like you.
For me, it does. I have no idea what's going on, but I seem to be having problems. I might have to restart completely.
Weird. Well, I don't know if we're going to explore this area anymore, so it might not be relevant right now. Well, it depends on where the group is headed. So,
That's a good question.
Elodie is happy that you've at least made this part of the dungeon safe. She says, I definitely owe your group, so just let me know how I can help fight these vampires, or just whatever you need. I owe you a favor for helping me secure this place.
Well, you're very welcome.
Mork, don't go using that favor on anything salacious until we've had a chance to seek out these vampires.
And she laughs. She says, well, I wouldn't consider that a favor.
All right,
But I think perhaps if vampires have come seeking us, we should perhaps seek them out in turn.
I agree. It seems like, at the very least, that is the most direct option to us. I think that if I am understanding things correctly, they're in the sewers, or at least they were yesterday, so we can have that direction and see if we see them. And if not, then I think we've more or less established that this place is cleared out, so we can decide what to do once we leave. Whether
She
that
nods.
be
Uh,
trying to... Oh, go ahead.
Well, she says they were in the northern tunnels, but that was yesterday. I don't think they'd still be there. You're welcome to check. There are the sewers to the south of here, which have the strange psychic slimes in them, but so far they haven't come up here, so I think we're okay. Unless the group feels they wish to fight the psychic slimes, they can probably be left alone for now.
Rumor has it they're no fun, so... I suppose my vote would be to head back the way we came, see if we run into the vampires or not, and then if we do not, then we can either investigate the keep, as we saw those individuals heading in there, or we can investigate the hole in the ground to the southeast of the marketplace where we encountered the revenants, unless there's any options that I've forgotten about.
Well, I'm going
Tribe should
to...
also. Sorry.
You can go ahead. You can go first.
Tribe should also check in with Chiron and Lyra in case discovered ways to help Shock.
That's a good point. Perhaps we can swing by there first.
Well, I'm going to continue to collect ghouls as much as possible. Now, question, did you tell her about the second obsidian altar? Because I think she was asking about its location.
I think Reed did mention it last time we were bargaining with her.
So she would say, do you know if that cathedral area is safe?
Last we spoke, the Softspire forces were scouting it as a new headquarters. I do not know if they have decided to invest the fortification.
Well, do you think you could come with me there? If the Softspires are there, maybe you can help me make an introduction to them, if we are possibly going to be working together.
Seems reasonable enough to me, but I am not a diplomat.
She says, the more ghouls I can take away from the Alhoun, the safer the city will be. So it's in our best interest to secure the altars so I can work on gaining more followers.
I would like to be able to trust you, but when you speak so openly of desiring more power...
She looks at you. She says, does seeking power make me untrustworthy? The people looking to take over Isaac are seeking power, just a different sort.
And I do not trust them either. It does not make you untrustworthy to seek power, but it makes more dangerous to trust.
She says, I suppose that's true. Gaining more power could make me a dangerous enemy if you decided to fight against me, but I can assure you I am much more trustworthy than the undead mind flayers who currently control the ghouls.
That's true
And
enough.
she smiles.
And I'll add that thus far, you have given me specifically no reason not to trust you. And that's more than I can say for some.
She says, but if you have other things you wish to do first, I understand. Just let me know when you are ready to go with me to the cathedral, because I do want to look into that obsidian altar. If you take a while, I might just go myself, and hopefully the soft spires are people who I can bargain with. But I'd much
You
rather
plan
have
to
you
go?
all there. She says, I don't know, I'd rather do it sooner rather than later, but as I said, if you need time, that's fine. The most I'd want to wait is maybe 3 days. I can still try to gather small amounts of ghouls from underneath the keep. There are still some in the undercaves.
In 3 days, then. Or before. I certainly do not wish to find out later what happens when you encounter the soft spires.
She nods.
I agree.
Very well, just let me know. The sooner the better. Alright, so what does the group want to do?
Find vampires is my vote.
Sharpen some stakes.
Sounds good.
Look into the vampires. Alright, so you don't actually have to go through the halls, just tell me exactly where you're headed. Back to the northern sewers?
Yes, because I think that is the way that she said that she saw them with her ghouls, correct?
Yes.
Then I believe that is the way that we are headed.
Alright. So you head back north to the familiar areas that you were in. You are currently in the tunnels underneath the city, so you don't actually have any sight. But you are trying to navigate, looking for tracks or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. We'll say that we're looking for any sort of traces of the vampires, whether it is tracks or some sort of, like, well, I suppose that's how there really would be. I was going to say like some sort of arcane presence, but I am personally not smart enough to know what that would even look like.
Alright, give me perception checks as you search these tunnels. As many of you as you'd like. Unfortunately, you do find lots of ghoul and other undead tracks going through here, probably because your friend Elodie was bringing ghouls down these tunnels at some point. So I got 4 rolls. So, May June, you do find some evidence of passage that looks like booted footprints that are not of the group. They seem to lead back towards the area underneath the keep over here.
Okay. When I notice them, I'll turn to the group and say, it looks like the vampires have gone that way. Shall we pursue them?
So you can either keep searching for more trails, or yeah, you could try to work that trail. It's probably about 9 a.m. at this point. You spent about 2 hours searching around and kind of moving through the tunnels. So you want to follow those, you said?
I believe so.
Alright, then I need up to 2 of you to give me survival checks to follow the trail.
I'll take one.
Beryl can help.
Alright.
Man, I'm gonna be shit in a fight today, apparently.
Well, you'll just be rolling hot all night.
We'll see.
Sorry, let me get to the right screen here because I think that, yeah.
So, okay, yeah, Beryl also does very well. So you follow the trail back into the under area of the keep.
This looks familiar.
Go ahead and pull yourselves in over here as you re-enter the area.
I didn't see where you pinged. Sorry.
I should have shift-clicked it, so it should have
there
moved
it
you
is.
here, over here.
Roll20 is just not behaving for me, so I'm gonna give it one more shot, and then I'm gonna hop out and restart.
Sure. Don't forget that we all have 9 temp HP. You might have to reapply those on your tokens.
Where do you put those?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I typically put mine in the red bubble unless I'm using it for something else.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
I get more than everyone else because I'm special.
Look at you.
Alright, so the
I
trail
also
is...
frequently use that for elevation sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm.
The trail is heading this way.
Okay.
To the west, and it seems to turn south back into the main area of this dungeon.
Okay.
And when you get to the turn, give me a moment because you will see something. Alright, so when you get to the turn, you see something strange to the south. A creature you have not seen before.
Oh yeah, she said that there were some extra fucky kind of vampires or something, I think. Oh, what in the fuck?
Does not look like a vampire. Does anyone have
I don't.
Arcana?
Sure do.
Yes, I do, but I can't see it.
Oh, I can see it.
Some of you might not be able to because it is kind of far away. But it looks like... Hang on, I got a picture. It looks like this. Bloop.
Are you saying that I can see it from where I am, or no?
If you would see it on the map, you see it. If you don't, then it's probably out of range for you. But as you... Yeah, I don't think you can, because I think it's like at the edge of the 60 feet. Well, it's like 45, so it'd be probably at the edge of your sight. But as you look south, it sort of turns north towards you, bringing its shield into a defensive position, and says in common, "Who is there?"
He's just gonna be like, Rayless? Are you related to Rayless?
He gives you a strange look. He says, "I do not know this Rayless. Identify
Right.
yourselves."
I've stepped forward enough where I can see it. Can I make the Arcana check now?
Sure.
Nope.
Today we are vampire hunters.
So Sim, with the 17, you actually think you know what this is. It is a creature known as a Warforged. Extremely rare. You probably have never seen one in person before. As you know,
The rest of us have. Or many of the rest of us have.
Yeah. For sure others have because he was in the group. But you've heard of Warforged. You've never seen one. You don't think the ways to create them are still known to humans or anyone else.
Huh.
But they are basically not necessarily constructs, but similar, although they have much more free will than a construct.
All
So-
manner of rare magics to be found in the sewers below Isik.
He says, I am not of these sewers. I serve Demi Prime of the Dwarven Halls. We are
Well-
former slaves to the dwarves of the 12th cycle. We have recently come up from our chambers. Who are you all?
We are tribe. As I said, we are here to hunt vampires. If you are not a vampire or in their service, we have no quarrel.
He says, vampires, you seek undead creatures that survive off the life force of living creatures. Is this correct?
True enough.
He says, I have not encountered any of these, but it is good to know that there are some in the area, as they can often be dangerous. He says,
To be sure.
I'm going to leave for now, but well met, tribe. I hope that our peoples can be friends in the future. And he starts making his way to the west.
It's always good to have more friends.
Did he say
Although
his
12th
name
cycle.
was his name was Demi Prime?
He said
No,
he
he
serves
serves
Demi
Demi
Prime. He didn't give
Yeah.
you a name himself.
Okay.
And he
I'll
said he
sort of-
was of the Dwarven Cathedral. Or no, the Dwarven... Did he say Cathedral?
No.
Thought it was Kingdom.
Yeah, former slaves of the Dwarven Kingdom.
Well, cycle. It's a while back.
That is a minute ago, yeah. I will personally just kind of like shrug as that whole conversation went over my head, and then I'll attempt to keep following the path, the footprints.
All right. So if you head south, you would see at the crossroads here that the Warforged seems like he's going towards that pipe where the exit is, going into the lake.
Okay. And the I gotcha. So the tracks that we were tracking seem to coincide with the Warforged as opposed to with vampires.
No, those tracks go this way. But no, you think that his tracks are different. He hasn't been up to where you are yet. He looks like
Okay.
at this point he's possibly just leaving the area.
Okay. Very well. Then in that case, I'll awkwardly make my way over this pipe. And you said that the vampire tracks head south from here.
Yeah, you see them coming down this way and going over the pipe. I think we're missing Gamork.
And the golem.
So the golem actually would not follow you out of the sewers.
Oh, that's good to know.
It seems like if you tried to take him beyond Leica where you came in, he would just stop there.
Good to know.
Is
I'll get here
Gamork
and
there?
I'll wait for Gamork once I get here.
I don't see him on the map.
I guess I should go check and see if he fell asleep.
There's always a possibility.
But it looks like from there, the tracks head east and go south. Kind of down this way.
Alright. I'll probably hang out here just long enough to find out what's going on with Gamork. Well, he probably did go to sleep. Alright. So you said they head south from here.
Yeah, so the door is still destroyed, and there's still the hole kind of in the way here.
So the tracks go over the hole. Or they
It
go in-
looks
they go into
like
the
the
room.
tracks go along the wall, actually.
Oh, that's fucking annoying.
So yeah, you
Okay.
think maybe these vampires quickly walked along the wall, then got to the other side. You have seen vampires do that in the past, the spider climb.
Okay.
Or maybe he
Um.
parkoured it. Parkour.
Hardcore parkour. Who is it? I feel like that became somebody's new favorite word in some other campaign.
That was, I
Donnie.
thought, Donnie's.
Donnie.
Parkour.
Donnie. All right. Well, then I'll step into the room just to make my way around it.
Alright, so the familiar obsidian altar is here. The one that you imagine was affected by Elodie.
Yeah, I'll circle around and see whether or not the tracks continue south or head west.
Alright, it looks like they go south into the area that leads to your sword wraith friends.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I'll keep tracking them thusly.
Alright, and everyone's following you?
Yep, at a decent distance.
Give me a d20 roll. Yeah, it does look like they go into a new area.
Okay.
Are you, so everyone is going that way, I assume?
Yep.
Here,
Alright,
take
I
it.
can just
Yeah, I'll
delete,
follow.
I can just erase your tokens then. As you enter a new area. It was mostly coming through here to see what you did about the Warforged.
Hey,
We said hi and said bye-bye.
Yeah. You just continued going. Alright, so you're heading through these tunnels underneath Issac, going over towards the market area. What is... Oh, actually... does anyone have a passive perception of 16 or over?
I think Beryl is 17.
Sounds right.
So, as you're walking through the tunnels, you would see Beryl. You would notice off in one of the side tunnels, you see something moving in the shadows.
Okay, sorry, I just got back to my sheet. Let me just confirm here. Yeah, 17. All right, so is this theater of the mind?
Yes, right now.
Okay. Beryl would like sidle up next to Mei June and like tug on his tunic and like point and whisper like something's moving.
I will. I'll turn that direction and see if I'm able to make it out now that it's been brought to my attention.
Alright, give me another perception check. Alright,
Nice.
so taking a close look in that direction, you would note a couple of things. There's definitely movement over there, and you now notice a second set of tracks deviating from the trail you were following, going along the wall that are semi-hidden. So it looks like one of the members of the vampire group went off from the main group and went sideways down this hallway along the wall.
Okay, so the
And
main
hit his tracks
group,
pretty well, actually.
Okay, so the main group seems to continue on in the hallway that we're in, but this one set of tracks has split off and gone down this hallway and is on the wall.
Yep.
Okay. How far away does it look like this movement is?
So how far can you see?
I think 60 feet.
It looks like it's happening just beyond your vision. So maybe at about 70 or 80 feet.
Okay. In that case, I'll like turn to the group and I will myself crouch, and then I'll also like make with my free hand, I'll like make like a get down motion, and I'll attempt to approach quietly, which is always a bundle of fun in scaling.
Alright, give me a stealth check. Okay. So you move somewhat quietly, especially for your for the armor you're in. As you start moving down the hall, a figure steps out of the shadows. just at the edge of your vision. He, or it might be a she, it's hard to tell from here. But whatever it is, kind of looks at you and says, "Is your name Mei Jun?"
It is.
And actually, at this point, you would hear noise coming from the other direction, the way you were tracking, and several more figures come into view from the south. Hang on, I got some pictures. So the one down the hallway actually might be, as I said, female, and it looks like this. It has kind of larger canines, and its eyes are slightly glowing. It says, "Your friend wishes to speak to you."
Oh, that's not good.
She says, "I assume you know who Cao Meng is."
I do. And if he wishes to speak with me, I suppose there's no reason not to. Better that than killing each other.
You see now, there's probably about 5 of them. And there's her coming from that way and about 4 coming from the south.
And they all seem to be similarly equipped, or lack thereof.
Yeah, they don't seem like they have any weapons, but you would guess those claws and fangs are pretty dangerous.
Pretty nasty. Okay.
So she begins to approach, smiling a bit now. She looks over the group, looks to you, and she says, "We have heard tale of your abilities. Cao Meng is tells impressive stories." And she would kind of lead you back north towards the keep here, where you just came from. "We were seeking you out after the misunderstanding with some of Cao Meng's people."
They were quite hungry.
She says, "Many of us are. And the humans, the new humans in this area do provide us with subsistence.
Oh,
We apologize for the mix-up." But you seem to have handled yourself quite well. So she kind of leads you back to the keep area, leads you through the stairwell up to the keep and out the front door.
Okay. When we're on the way through that area, do we notice any dark-robed individuals with like any sort of box? Because I do recall them coming in through the front door, and I'm wondering if we have recently walked the same way that they walked, but in reverse. I don't know necessarily that we would have, but
no, you haven't seen any of the other types of vampires. These ones seem to be quite a bit different from the I forget what they were called.
I don't even know if we knew that that's what the black-robed people were. I mean, we kind of assumed they were, but I don't think we got close enough to find out. All we knew for sure is that they were carrying a box.
So he or she or whatever it is leads you kind of out the front door, and she looks around and says, "It is a bit of a travel to get to the undercaves where Cao Meng is. Are you ready to come with us?"
Oh, sort
Will
of.
it take more than a day?
She says no, but it could take several hours of travel.
Tim shrugs.
I'll look to the group and sort of just look at each person in turn and see if anybody has a strong opinion.
Pharaoh's cowering behind someone's knees and waits to see if the group decides to go with the vampires.
And I'm definitely like on alert. I'm not.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm not comfortable at all.
This is awkward times. Okay. After I survey the entourage, I'll turn back to that main vampire, and I'll say, I think we're probably as ready as we'll ever be.
She says, very well, then follow us. So she starts leading you through the streets, the five of them kind of keeping an eye on things as they walk.
Do they seem bothered by the sunlight?
No, but there is that thick mist around the city, which is kind of preventing most of the sun. Or
Okay.
the thick fog, which is probably protecting them. What is the highest perception in the group? Is it 17, Beryl?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So as you're moving kind of this way, and actually you would have sight now, so let me give you back your sight. Alright, so yeah, as you're kind of traveling with them this way, down through the marketplace, Beryl, you notice kind of to the south here some movement behind some of the trees. Someone is pretty well hidden, and actually there might be a couple of them with bows down there.
All right, since Mei June is kind of out in front following these vampires, I imagine I'm not necessarily up there in the front of this, so I'll probably maybe kind of try to subtly point it out to Anna Kate instead.
Alright, Anna Kate, what's your passive perception?
Only 13.
Alright, so you
But
don't
if she
see
pointed out to me,
anything.
can
You
if
can
she
make an
pointed out to
active
me,
check.
can I make an active?
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
good.
Alright,
Nice.
so taking a closer look over there, you do see movement. It looks like several groups of maybe it's humans getting into position behind some of the trees.
What's the scale on this map?
I want to say
100 feet, I
each
think.
is each of the boxes is about 100 feet.
Okay.
Is anyone else doing anything?
If I notice that attention has been directed towards those trees, I might do something silly.
Okay. Well, did the two of you say anything to any other members of the group?
I guess, yeah, I would react if she pointed that out. I would probably whisper, "We've got people watching us."
I will cast the humanoid form of dancing lights somewhere between us and the trees, but very much in their direction, and have it give a friendly wave.
That's wild.
Alright. So as you do this, the vampire spawns stop. Start looking towards your friendly waving humanoid form of dancing lights and say, "What is this?" And they look to the group. They look at the to the south. What's going on?
I do not know, but it never hurts to give friendly greeting, no?
Friendly greeting. To who?
If I knew, I would have spoken a greeting.
Right. So, as you are saying that, the vampires are seeming a bit distracted as there is a poof from the north and several figures suddenly appear seemingly out of nowhere. And let me show you what they look like.
Yeah, we're making all kinds of new friends.
All three of them are
Right.
rushing at the vampire spawn, looking like they are very much intent on attacking them. Just pretend you don't know the names. So So the first one is very tall and holding a oversized looking katana blade in both hands. The second one is holding a sword and shield, also threateningly moving towards the vampires. And the third one looks like she is casting a spell of some sort. And he yells, "Now!" as they engage, and it looks like they are attacking the 5 vampire spawn that are leading you. What does the group want to do?
I will call out, if you are here to slay vampires, we need at least one alive. And step back to see what happens.
Alright, so is the group...
I
go
probably yell out, wait, as soon as I hear the call for now. Man, this is intense. There's nothing good about this.
So the vampire spawn hiss angrily and are rushing towards the humans who are attacking them. Does the group want to try to help the vampires, try to help the humans, or just kind of stand back? Or do you want to do something else? So it looks like they're about to get into it.
And they're not heeding any of our conversation.
Well, you yell that, and the humans seem a little confused, but they also seem committed at this point, and the vampire spawn are just going at them.
Yeah, if they're... Okay. Yeah, if the vampire spawn seem like they're not willing to... have no reason to stop, then I will probably join the fray, and... Man, this is so awkward.
Right. Why don't I set the scene here?
Oh, you're joining the vampires?
No, I'm probably gonna... I don't fucking know. I'm not on board with vampires killing humans, so I'm probably gonna fight the vampires, but then when we go to talk to Kalmang, that's gonna be fucking weird.
Hey, we killed a bunch of you dudes.
Yeah.
So this is awkward.
Well, he didn't seem concerned about the fact that we had already killed some of his people. He's like, oh, like his people called it a misunderstanding.
Well, allegedly, it looked like when we fought them the last time, they just sort of
they were going to eat us.
Something. So,
no, that's true.
They disappeared. So hopefully they will make it back somewhere. And the next time I see him, I can just be like, "Hey, remember that one time? Sorry about that."
I'll ignore this. Boop.
Boop.
But yeah, we will be seriously inconvenienced if all of them get killed, because then we can't find Kalmang.
Well, we know that they were heading east by southeast, so it's probably in that fucking hole.
So it is daytime, even though it's misty, so there is light coming through the mist. So I'll give you daylight here in a sec. Okay, good, it's on already. So when I put you on, go ahead and position yourselves and roll for initiative.
But you said it's not bright enough out. It's cloudy enough that there isn't brightness for those of us who don't like daylight.
Yeah, it's more misty, so the natural mists of Issyk are seemingly protecting these vampires from taking any damage.
And so in this map, where are okay, we're seeing. Okay, I'll roll and then I'll take a look in a minute.
Ayo. Some people are quick on the draw over here.
Yeah.
I had warning. Beryl drew my attention to them.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming.
Oh, okay. So we're behind him. Okay.
Actually, this wall, these are down. This is just difficult terrain.
Oh, okay.
So you can see that, and the archers you saw were down here somewhere. You don't see them just yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
No,
Sure.
the archers seem to come from a different angle.
Okay.
So the 5 of them are here. And go ahead. Did you roll initiatives?
We did. What are the constraints of token placement?
I assume you'd probably be within like a short distance of the vampires because you were following them.
Okay.
So in this general area over here is where you'd be.
Okay, so we could be I guess
I'm
my
always
question is
trying to speak up.
how far forward can we be to what is happening?
Wherever you think you'd be standing as you were following them.
Okay, I was probably following them fairly closely, I think.
Yeah, and I had even like kind of assumed that you were a little bit ahead of the rest of us. Not that we were like way behind you, but
Sure.
that's why I mentioned the last thing I saw to Ren and said it to you.
Alright,
Yep.
Miss Wren, you would be the first to act as this is happening. As I
Yep.
said, the vampires and the humans are rushing at each other, and you probably see archers start popping out from the south, looking towards the fight. What do you want to do?
I will run up 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Is that one going to take an attack of opportunity on me?
No, the vampires aren't hostile towards you yet. It
Yet.
doesn't seem like either side is hostile towards your group yet.
I am going to run right here in the middle of everybody and put my hands up and yell stop and take the dodge action.
Give me
That's
a... So, if you're gonna use your action for diplomacy, you probably couldn't take the dodge action. If you're trying
Well,
to...
is yelling stop diplomacy?
Okay, so you're just yelling stop, you're not, like, trying to necessarily, like, talk more than that.
Yeah, not really. I'm just putting my hands out in both directions, facing both parties and yelling stop, but with my hands out like that, I'm effectively dodging since I'm, a monk.
Alright,
So on.
Nice dodge
Barrel, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to hold a thorn whip for anyone that attacks Anna Kate, but I have to get closer. Can I jump up on these rocks?
Yeah, it'll be difficult terrain to jump up, though,
Okay,
for
so
that
5,
square.
10, 20. I could probably only get that far, so maybe I can't thorn whip. Okay, what else do I have?
That probably has only been 20 feet so far, so you probably have 10 still.
Well, oh, that's right. She has 30. I forgot. Most small creatures only have the 25, is what I was thinking. But you're right. So I can get a little closer.
I think you can move 2 more, because it's not a difficult terrain to move up there, just to get up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not to run along the wall, because it's only about 5 feet high.
In that case, I will hold a thorn whip to try and smack down anyone who attacks Ms. Wren.
Alright, so the spawn hiss. They don't seem interested in stopping as they rush past Mr. Wren and are attacking the fighter here as he's rushing forward. Making several attacks on him. He moves with impressive speed, dodging the 4 attacks against him as they did not roll high enough. This one is going to run up this way and do some sort of, let's see.
As that one begins to leave my space, I would like to hit it with an attack of opportunity.
Alright,
Or attempt to.
so as it's rushing forward, you react. I assume you have your sword out.
Gone out, yeah. Did I not mark it? Oh, because we're on a new map. Yeah, I apologize. Hold
That's
on.
fine. I just pulled you out, so I would.
Yep.
Yeah. Alright, so you swing with your Guandao as it's rushing forward. So actually, it would stop here. Go ahead and make your Oppie.
Yeah. Okay, get on.
Oh yeah, 19 would strike, catching it off guard.
And I will attempt to make that a trip attack as well.
Okay.
Oh shit, I forget it does more damage. I'm really not trying to fuck him up. And also, it must succeed on a DC 15 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Alright, so the creature makes a strength save. Rolls a 4 and falls prone.
And because, let me share that Sentinel Yes, and also its speed is 0.
How much did you deal to it? 12?
And then also the superiority to die, which is 3.
He's like,
So
oh
15.
damn, I'm doing too much damage.
I'm like not trying to. I didn't want him to stop. Like, motherfuckers, we got people to go see.
Alright. So, that's it for you? I guess that was on
Yeah.
its turn.
Yeah.
So it is stopped falling flat on its face. You use your reaction. This one turns around towards Mei Jun, towards you, and yells, betrayal, and it's going to rush at you.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're like, yeah, that's fair. Oh! As it rushes and jumps at you. So it starts with a claw attack. Rolls an 8, and you easily dodge the first one. It spins around clawing. Oh, geez, these are terrible rolls. Rolls another 8, and as you deflect both of its attacks, this one is also going to rush at Mei Jun. Once again, taking 2 slashing attacks. 19 for the first one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you are struck with the first claw attack for 8. And actually, it doesn't do 8 to you. It's going to instead grab you. Grappling you. And it is going to do a bite attack. 23, I assume, would hit you.
It would.
So he grabs you, biting down, doing 11 piercing and 7 necrotic.
All right.
And your maximum hit points are reduced by 7
Mm,
as he drains blood from you.
But it's 10
what about
HP.
that?
I did take the temp HP. Yep.
Yeah, your max
But
still
I
gets
used
drained even if it's temp HP, I believe, because it just deals damage. Dealing damage is what drains your max hit points.
Yeah.
So that's it for the vampire spawn. These two are engaged with this guy. Next up is this gentleman. He steps forward this way, looking at Miss Wren, and he says, "Who are you? Why are you allying with these blood drinkers? They killed my men!" And he is going to attack, swinging 3 times with his sword. He would strike all 3 times, dealing 38 damage.
Ooh. Very impressive.
That is it for him. Mei Jun. Vampires yell meat as they go to attack back. But yeah, Mei Jun, you get to act first. You have one guy grabbing you and biting down on you.
Yeah. Fuck. I don't know if this is gonna end real well, no matter how it goes. I will swing. Well, first as a bonus action, I will roar loudly and proudly, and then I will swing recklessly at the one which is grappling me, which I think is the south one.
Okay. So you bring your weapon down, recklessly attacking. 23 would strike, cutting into the creature, or 21.
And do they appear quite nimble?
Yes.
Okay, if they look nimble, then I will attempt to make that a precision swing.
Alright, D8. 13 would not be enough, and it dodges out of the way of the second strike.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and action surge and attempt to swing at it 2 more times.
Alright, oh yeah, 22 would strike, dealing another 20 and wounding it.
That's 16. I think I'll probably just let be a 16.
16 would.
How nimble they are.
Hmm?
Yeah, I was trying to gauge how nimble I think they are. I don't think they're quite that nimble.
Well, 16 would strike, landing a third blow. Another 18 damage. And the creature looks pretty beat up. Anything else?
I'm not sure how many words I have. Well, and I've fucking raged, and I'm like, fuck, yeah, I probably can't say anything. I'll just say, just fucking stop, and that's it.
All right, read.
Does it look like there's a bunch of archers to the south? That can I see them or no?
So they are still in hiding as they have not gone yet. But you think you heard Beryl say something about something to the south. As I assume your passive perception is not over 16.
No, it's 15. All right, in an attempt to save one of these guys from questioning, I'm gonna cast banishment on this one and this one.
Alright, so you attempt to banish two of the vampires, chanting and pointing at them. So they get charisma saves. Yep. First one rolls a 10, second one rolls a 2, so they are both banished.
Now I'm concentrating. And I'm going to...
a magic user. She smiles.
And I'm going to run up north and kind of crouch down by these rocks and try to make myself as, inconspicuous as possible.
Alright, you rush up north. Alright, so... this guy holds his katana for a second as it begins to glow. He then slashes. Miss Wren, are you threatening that one, or are you still just kind of remaining neutral?
Once I see Mei Jun start the fight, then yes, I am siding against the vampire spawn. But
all right,
it's all happening very quickly, so I guess it's your determination as to whether I'm flanking or not.
Well, it's your choice if you want to threaten to offer flank, because you can be non-aggressive if you want.
I'm planning to attack that thing my next turn, so
right.
Yeah.
So you take a threatening stance, which would distract it for a moment, giving the other person a +2. Oh yeah, he definitely struck. Slash! There's an explosion of radiant energy as he hits the guy. He does 52 points of damage. He then steps here, and attacks the other one with his second attack.
Oh, that 58 took that one all the way out?
Yeah.
That's okay. Good to know.
Well, that one was also damaged already.
Yep, I forgot that the other guy hit him. Yep.
Oh yeah, he strikes the other one as well.
I think we picked the right side.
With another explosion of radiant energy. For 28 points of damage, not as impressive. Making it stumble a bit. That is it for... Or wait, no, sorry, he does have a third attack. Yeah, he would strike again. No smite on this one, though. For 19 points of damage. And the creature looks wounded. Sim.
The vampire that died, does it have a body, or did it...
It turned into dust.
Oh, it did not leave. Oh,
No, it didn't turn into. For whatever reason, it did not assume a gaseous form when it was struck.
Okay.
It was hit by radiant damage.
Oh, that's a good point.
I noticed. Being a student of religion.
Sim, what are you gonna do?
Step right here and send some Eldritch Blasts at the vampire grappling Mejun.
Alright. So as it's getting ready to bite him again, you blast at it. 18 strikes at once, and then 18 strikes again, and then 20 strikes it the third time for 29 points of damage. And it falls to the ground. But it doesn't turn to dust for some reason.
And I will spend my bonus action sending my little humanoid dancing light into the tree.
Okay.
Hovering around, looking around in there. Anywhere where I have line of sight into the shrubbery, I will just push that thing as far as I can send it.
Okay. So next up, she begins to chant, pointing at the vampire. Let me just check something. Did that work? I think that would work. Dex save.
Who needs to make a dex save?
The vampire does.
Oh, okay.
So the woman chants, her eyes glowing, as she points. A beam of energy blasts out from her, and the vampire is definitely going to try to dodge this. Dex save. It does not, which is unfortunate for the creature. I don't have enough dice to roll this.
I don't have enough dice to roll this.
The creature takes 73 points of damage
Holy.
and turns into a fine dust. That is it for her. Gamork, what are you going to do? Actually, I think that's it.
There are
So
a couple that are banished.
yeah, there are some that are banished. You see a bunch of archers getting ready to fire, but they realize none of the vampires is left. She would yell at Mejun, "The one next to you isn't dead. You need to kill it with radiant energy." Gamork, what are you gonna do? Are you there, Gamork?
You're muted.
Oh, you might be muted.
Yep.
I was talking and muted, so I'm looking to see if I have anything that deals radiant damage. And I don't think I have anything that does that. So I am going to move up here and save my attack in case the archers don't like us.
Alright, so you get ready, readying an attack to attack them if they attack your group or something?
Yeah.
Alright, so you point an arrow out at them, making them a little bit wary. Miss Wren, what do you want to do?
Yeah. I will respond to the guy that questioned me and say, we were not aligned with them. We were using them. We need information. I don't know how much I want to tell him, so I guess I'll leave it at that.
Alright, you gonna take any actions this turn?
I will continue dodging in case this goes the wrong direction.
So he's looking at you. He's not moving his weapons threateningly, but he is also sort of wary of your group at this point. Beryl, what do you want to do?
Confused. She's gonna whisper, loud whisper down to Meijun, what should Beryl do? Are we fighting these people?
No.
Beryl readies Beryl will ready so make some magic stones and ready a stone in her sling in case anything threatens any of our party or affects any of our party.
So he yells, quickly hit the creature with radiant energy. It's going to get back up. And actually, at that, it is the vampire's turn, and this one will indeed rise again, jumping back to his feet. As he has regenerated. And it is going to... Is it going to do this? Wait, I don't think it can, actually.
Does that trigger... Is he showing aggression towards Meijun?
Probably. Yeah, he's probably going to go for Meijun, because I don't think he can actually... Or I don't think it would actually run at this point. So it's going to try to attack Meijun.
Okay.
So it hisses and jumps at you again. Were you raging, Meijun?
I am, yep.
Alright.
And I did attack recklessly as well last time.
So we have... Oh, crit. Reckless. The double-headed... the downside of reckless. So he crits you for 13, not the best crit, as he slashes you as he rises from getting up. He will then slash a second time. 13 becomes an 18, which I think just hits you, right?
That will do it.
So he claws you a second time for 8 slashing. This time not trying to grab you, just doing damage. And you half both of those, of course.
Yep. And I think Beryl had held her magic stone for when they became violent, so I think she's rolled that.
Yeah. So you attack Beryl as you see it slashing at him. So 19 would strike, dealing 10 points of damage as it's slashing him, which would put it down. It goes down to the ground again.
Would it have been able to attack Meijun twice if the first attack triggered Beryl?
I think it does them both in the same action.
Okay.
Because it's a multi-attack.
That's fair. I was just curious.
Yeah. It's like when you do
I knew that wouldn't do too much damage, but I wasn't sure how much he came back with, so that was my hope, to put him down before he could do much.
Yeah, fair enough. So Meijun, what are you going to do?
I will... I'm going to respond to these folk. Well, I'm not sure how much... If I can... Okay, so for sure, I want to...
So wait, actually, at this point, since no one had radiant damage, he is going to... Bakor is going to run over, drop his sword, draw a vial of holy water, and basically douse this thing, which would go and burn
and
up.
And that happens before my initiative.
Yeah, because I think he goes right before you. I forgot to move him, though. So he looks around and says, "Where did the other two go?" She says, "They were banished by that one." And she kind of points back at Reed, who's behind the wall over here.
I told you, we need at least one alive.
Alright, so I'm going to drop you out of combat at this point. Because you're pretty safe for the moment.
Well, presumably, unless the vampires are extraplanar, they may come back. I'm not sure if they are or not. But when this guy asks me, well, I don't think he asked me anything. But I will say that, fuck, what will I say? I'll say, we're not friends with vampires, but they were leading us to their leadership, and we were using them for that, so thank you for fucking ruining that. I understand why you did it, and can't blame anybody for doing that, but...
So this guy, who seems kind of angry, says, these creatures have been killing our men. He says, why would you need their help?
We don't need their help, but if
We
find
need to
out...
find their leader.
Yeah, you
Do
may
you
have
not
killed
understand
5, but
how
we could have
vampires
killed
work?
a nest.
A vampire makes more vampires. You need to kill the one that makes them.
He looks at you curiously. He says, why were they leading you to their nest? And wait, who are you people? Are you with the Softspire forces?
Kind of.
They
We
don't
are
look
acquainted
like
with the
Softspire.
Softspires.
She says, they don't look like Softspire troops. He sort of looks around at all of you. He says, well, it seems if you're not with the vampires, then perhaps we acted a little hastily. My name is Bakor Esmira. This is my bodyguard Jazik and my friend Akami, and she bows to you.
Nice to meet you all. I wish it could have been under more predictable circumstances, but I don't think that anybody can fault you for how this went down. You seem quite talented, and that's always an asset in these parts. My name is Meijun.
Well met,
If you are
Meijun.
still here when the banishment ends, it may be difficult to convince them to take us to Kalmeng.
Can you hide yourself? Like you did before the battle? And just follow us?
He says,
Well, something tells me that the two that come back aren't going to be inclined to just walk us there anymore.
Well, we can be persuasive.
he says, if you think it's best, he motions for his troops back there to
Are there
get back into hiding. He says,
are there any? Sorry, go ahead.
says Jezik will let them execute their plan. If they can truly find the nest and wipe out the vampires, it is worth it. He motions to Akami, who runs over, says, yep, I'm on it. And she smiles, snaps her fingers, and all three of them fade away as they start walking towards the rocks over here.
Are there any remnants of the 3 vampires that were slain?
Oh yeah, their dust is still there where they fell. Basically, it's like a vampire spawn essence is left behind.
So the 2 that come back will automatically know that the other 3 were slain.
Oh, of course.
Well, yeah, they saw it happen.
Well, sorry, at least
Oh,
one. So,
they saw
well,
the first
actually,
ring.
I don't think I
They
saw
didn't
if
see
they
them
saw
get
any of
killed.
them die. Yeah.
They didn't see any
They
of them
just
die.
saw
no.
Meijun attack one of them.
Well, they saw this one die, and they saw, I
They
think...
did?
Well, yeah,
No,
because
I
they
think-
were... Or this one... Oh, they saw at least this one die, because
They saw that one get hit. I think that he definitely got hit by Bakor, but I don't think Jazik killed him until they were gone.
Oh, was that afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, I guess he just saw... They were just seeing the battle happening, so maybe they didn't see any of them get killed. Alright, so what do you
They
want to
do
do?
know that Meijun attacked one of them.
Oh, yeah,
true.
yeah.
It will be harder to convince them.
Yeah.
So you think they are going to be back soon. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm
Idea
not
of
an I'm not an expert in diplomacy, but I say the argument is that we had to maintain our cover with whoever these fucking people are. I don't know if they're gonna buy it or not, but I don't have any better ideas.
Does anyone have history?
Nope.
I think Gamork does.
I think Gormork probably does. I think you're right. I think he's our only history buff.
And I really should have taken history instead of religion.
They're both good.
So history might tell you... No, never mind.
Nope. Okay.
You may have known something about when he identified himself, the Izmira family. You may have known something about them. But unfortunately, not with an 8.
In preparation for their return, I'm just going to hold my Guandao at the side to feign, like, I'm no longer wielding it, like, combatively. I don't know if it's gonna matter, but
All right. So, are you gonna release them or wait the other 15 seconds?
I guess I will. If we're all ready, I will. Give the signal to everyone and release them.
All right. As you release the spell, they would appear hissing. And what are you gonna say to them?
Calm yourselves. The fight is over.
So this one stands up, angered, hissing, and says, "Where did they go? Where are the others?"
We did not seek them out. It did not seem prudent to fight.
Give me a persuasion check. He looks at Meiju and he says, "You struck me."
well, I had to maintain my cover with these people. It's not like I've been friends with vampires before.
Wow,
I don't know how it works.
Look at the hat.
When you fell, it kept you out of reach of the light wielder who slew one of your companions in a single blow. Perhaps it's best you could not run forward.
So he nods. Meiju, give me a deception.
We're gonna... Oh, Jesus Christ. This is, I don't even think this is maybe not even gonna help, but we're gonna use an inspiration.
Okay. You make an inspired deception. 15's not bad.
Better than 10.
Yep.
He says, "Where did they go? Where are the rest of the vampires?"
I will point out the one that is next to me.
They were unfortunately slain. It is what happens when you are ambushed by light wielders.
They did possess quite powerful radiant magics, all three of them.
And where did the light wielders go?
We did not deem it wise to pursue them.
They disappeared and walked away.
Better to complete the task you were sent to do, yes?
They ran?
They thought the fight was over. There were 3 down and you were nowhere to be seen.
Give me one more deception check, either Sim or Meijun.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna let you take that one.
I am not nearly as deceptive as I am persuasive, but we'll give it a shot.
It's better than I would have done.
So, what did you say happened to the other vampires to them?
They were unfortunately slain.
Or
That is what
slain.
happens when you are ambushed by light wielders, were my exact words.
Alright.
Yeah.
No, I carefully did not lie. I never lie when I'm playing Sim.
I'm not a liar, I'm just a sneaky
You were being deceptive because you're trying to convince these guys that
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
Just
that's
'cause you
how I
word
choose
something,
to lie.
yeah.
I tend to lie by saying things that are not false.
Yeah, you're still being deceptive, just not directly.
Yep.
But they kind of look around and nod and say, "All right, well, we can continue, I guess." Cao Meng will not be happy that some of his people were slain, but we can tell him it was not you who did it, but more of those humans. And they would start leading you again.
I'll ask them. Have you seen that group before?
They say no. Well, actually, they didn't see what the group did after they were banished, because, like you said, they were already banished before the attacks happened.
Yeah.
So they say the soldiers we have fought up until now did not put up nearly as much of a fight.
These 3 did not fight like soldiers.
No, they must be with a different group, perhaps. I'm just going to delete your tokens if you're following.
Okay.
I will actually sort of casually insult them. the 3 thing. These 3 did not fight like soldiers. Reckless. Acting without advanced intelligence, perhaps.
Yes, whoever they were. But we know we were not familiar with them. Alright, so you continue moving through the city. And they would sort of lead you up through the market over here. You would see a ghoul forest to the south, but luckily it seems to be ignoring you. And basically they would lead you back to the hole over here.
Yeah. Okay.
And it looks like they're headed down into the caves below. You gonna follow them?
The hole is basically walkable, right? It's not like a straight drop.
Yeah, so it's sort of like it's like a 45-degree angle, and it's almost like a slope.
Okay.
There's some climbing involved, but not like a sheer drop.
Okay. As we get closer and closer to the mouth of the cave, I'll just look back at each of my party members and see if anybody is really not having it or something.
Does Anna Kate need any healing? Do we need to do that? Beryl, you want to
I
break
think,
out the staff or something?
Well, I think only 2 of us were hit, and I don't think, and Meijun was raging.
Yeah, I didn't get touched.
I don't recall that anybody is bleeding for sure.
I thought Anna.
And
we had hit for 38.
No, that was the
vampire.
Vampire.
That was the vampire in front of me.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, the humans didn't attack her.
Okay.
They actually, she was helping them to flank. So he would. Sorry, are you doing anything, or are you just going to keep following?
I believe we're just going to keep following this.
Actually, I think the hole was over
very
here.
uncomfortable
Sorry.
Situation. Yep.
Yeah, look, leave it a token.
Yeah. Alright, so he would lead you to the bottom, where you see a figure leaning against the wall next to a cave. The vampires walk over and whisper something to him. He would look up, look at the group for a moment and nod and begin walking into the cave, which seems to slope downward. The spawn would return to you and say, he will seek the master. Wait here.
The guy who went to go seek the master, what does he look like? Is he noteworthy?
So he looks similar in tone to these ones, but he looks a little less feral, and he actually had armor and weapons on him.
Oh. Neat.
But he did not say anything to you. Still looks like he has like the same gray skin and glowing red eyes, but yeah, like he wasn't fighting with claws. He actually had weapons and was armed with weapons and armor.
Okay, and the blood drinker vampires that we encountered previously, did they have weapons or armor? I don't think that they did.
They did actually. They had similar looking weapons, or they had a rapier and they had leather armor, I believe, with their armaments.
Okay.
Or wait, no, they didn't have armor on, but they did have a rapier, so they had a weapon.
Okay, but this guy definitely has armor on.
Yes.
Okay.
This one was armored.
Okay.
So you're waiting for probably about maybe a half hour or so. He has not come back yet. You would guess it's probably getting close to the afternoon at this point. When you see him emerge from the cave with a familiar figure, someone you have not seen in a long time. Give me a sec, sorry. Too many freaking pictures here. The man walks over. As he sees you, you note that he has similar glowing eyes to the other one. He steps forward and smiles and says, "How long has it been, Meijun?"
several months at least. How long have you been, different?
He sighs and says, well, my
I,
search did not go as expected, as you can probably tell.
indeed. I'm sorry to hear that. Did it happen in Isik?
He nods. He says, myself, along with others who were here at the time, were taken, and dark magics were used on us. He says, we had been in captivity until recently, when something strange happened and we were all freed. As if the energies that kept our prisons functioning were depleted somehow.
See. And you say that it was magic that did this and not some other vampire?
He says, yes, a wizard caught us using his energies and tried to turn us into servants. He says, what are you doing here?
Well, originally, I came here to follow you, as we discussed. I stayed in Char for a time, seeing if you had spent any time there, and if we could meet up and explore Isik together, see what we could find out about the show and about our other tribes. But after perhaps a week or so, perhaps 2 weeks, it seemed like something was wrong, and I had an opportunity to set out towards Isik independently, well, independently of you, with a group of mercenaries led by a man named Galen Blackwater. I followed them. There was a combat with a dragon. It dispatched scores of men, and I broke away during the encounter and swum underneath the ruins of Isik, where I met these fine people. And over the course of many, many days, we were able to we were able to disrupt the hold that the Shadowlord had over Isik, and I suspect that is likely what resulted in your freedom, though I cannot say for sure. I'm not an expert in this sort.
He says, Shadowlord, Malik.
Indeed.
Do you speak of Malik? He says, yes. Malik is the one who captured us, who turned us into these creatures. He gave us powers, hoping to use us as tools, but it seems that your actions have broken us free, and we are now able to use these powers for our own benefit.
At the expense of any humans nearby.
He looks over your shoulder at Sim, and he says, I assume these are not Blackwater's mercenaries, but someone else that you met within Isik.
Correct. These are the individuals I spoke of that I met. Well, some of them I met in Isik after I surfaced from the lake. This is Beryl. She is, in many ways, our leadership. This is Reed. He's a talented spellcaster.
Beryl's the real leader.
This is Anna Kate, a very talented...
Beryl did not laugh. She grinned really proudly. I laughed.
This is Anna Kate, a very talented martial artist and archer. And finally, Gamork and Sim, who I've actually met very recently. Gamork is also quite talented at range, and Sim is also a talented spellcaster. They have, between the 5 of them, perhaps more talent than any of that I saw in our mercenary days together, you and I.
High praise. He looks to Anna Kate. He says, you're a martial artist?
That I am.
I can tell by the way you hold yourself, your stance. He says, so May, June, what is your plans now that you've found me? It seems you've been in combat with several of my agents. Obviously they attacked you, and I am sorry for that happening. The bloodlust can be hard to control sometimes. If Okay. So he says, what do you plan to do now?"
I think ultimately that boils down to your intentions. Obviously, being in the situation that you're in, you literally physically have needs which do not coincide with the presence of the living. Well, actually it does, but not in their benefit. Recently, with the liberation of Isik, many people have decided that they would like to reestablish the city as a trading post of sorts or something. I don't know, but a lot of people are coming and they mean to either make this place their home or turn it into something. And I guess at the end of the day, my question for you is, yeah, what your intentions are now that you are what you are.
He says, "I'm still figuring that out. There were many like me who gained power from the actions of Malik, and we are figuring out what is to happen next. I started to send my people around this place to get more information on what was going on, and it was at that point that we discovered the human armies had arrived. We took out several groupings of them as they were hostile towards us, but there are many more that we would have to deal with." He says, "I've sort of assumed command of the vampires that had escaped, as I was the most talented warrior among them, and they are trusting my wisdom to help them reestablish power within the city."
So your goal is power, not freedom.
He says, "Well,
What?
we are already free. At this point, we need some place to call our own. And Isik seems like as good a place as any. The natural or magical fogs that enshroud the city keep us safe from the sunlight."
You would also be safe from the sunlight if you found a way to reverse what Malik had done.
That's a good point. I don't know what that looks like, and I'm not smart enough.
He looks at you for a moment and says, "Do you know of a way to reverse this?"
I hardly know what has been done to you, but what one wizard has done, another can undo. Usually.
If that was something that we could figure out, Meng, would you be willing to leave the humans alone while we looked into it, or had people look into it for us? I think if there's any argument for the humans to really devote time and research into figuring this out, it's the knowledge that their people will no longer be suffering at the hands of vampires.
So he looks at your group, then looks back at you for a moment, and he says, "Do you think I could speak with you in private for a moment, Mang? Or May?
June.
Or
It's
June?
all weird. It's all backwards.
That's right, it's backwards. Yeah, do you think I could speak with you privately for a moment, June?"
That would be fine.
All right, and actually, let's take a quick 5-minute break to use the restroom, and then I'll do
Sounds
a
good.
quick Secret
I gotta take the
Santa
puppers out.
with June.
June.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome.
I am also back.
Alright, let's go talk in Secret Santa for a moment.
Secret Santa.
Ooh.
Dun dun.
Alright, so
Alright.
he would lead you off to the side and say, how much do you trust these friends of yours?
Well, Beryl, Reed, and Anna Kate and I have been together for some time now, and I think I trust probably all of them implicitly. I've only known Gamork and Sim for a couple of days, so I trust them less, but so far they have given me no reason not to trust them. But it would not be the first time that I've been betrayed by somebody who had ulterior motives. But again, as far as Beryl, Reed, and Anna Kate are concerned, Beryl is simply too good-hearted to be manipulative. Reed could potentially manipulate the right person, but I suspect that he has no reason to manipulate his friends. And Anna Kate, well, Anna Kate is a little complicated, but I don't believe that she has ever manipulated anybody on purpose.
Do you think that if they were to join with us, that they could be trustworthy followers or soldiers?
Like in terms of, like some sort of allegiance?
Yes. And so he pauses for a moment and he says, I will be honest with you, June, because you are a friend. I have no wish to give up these powers that have been bestowed upon me. He says, I've never felt more alive. I've never been so fast and dangerous as I am now. Whatever this curse is, it's also a gift that makes me a very powerful and effective soldier. He says, I have no reason to give it up. He says, and I think I could possibly give this gift to you as well, making us both extremely powerful. He says, I don't see a reason why we would not take advantage of this strength and use it for good purpose.
What good purpose? I guess, when you say good purpose, what does that mean to you? So far, admittedly it's a complicated conversation anyway, but to date, the only interactions that we've had with vampires have been them killing humans, and whether the pursuit of power is interesting to me or not, if I am going to subject my will to some sort of bloodlust that forces me to lash out like they have, I don't think that I could take that choice. But if there is some measure of control about it, as you seem to have, then perhaps it is not out of the question. What are your intentions with these good plans or good uses of this power that you have?
The weaker ones lash out, it's true, but those with strength of mind and devotion, such as myself or you, it's challenging, but the thirst can be controlled. Admittedly, we do need to drink blood, but the power we gain from it is more than worth it. As for my intentions, I've spent most of my life under the heel of men with evil intentions, and I've seen many of my friends die because of the power of others. He says, I intend to make a place that's safe for myself and my kin. Maybe take a little piece of Issac for ourselves and try to rebuild our clan.
If your intention is to settle here and to make a piece of Issac your own, perhaps that is something that can be on the table, but I don't know. tell me this. What are the repercussions of not imbibing of blood, and are there any alternatives which are less murdersome?
He says, as of now, I haven't figured out a way to avoid that unfortunate need. But as your friend said, there's probably something that can be done through magic.
I see. So if there was a way to curb or eliminate the appetite, but maintain the powers, that would be your preferred solution.
He nods. He says, I gain no pleasure from drinking the blood of others or seeing their deaths. If there was a way to avoid it, I would definitely seek that as an answer.
Indeed. I'll sort of like look back to the, because where are we? Just like some.
Yeah, you're
some
probably down
distance
the
away?
cave a little.
Okay. I'll look back toward the group, and then I'll look back to Mang, and I'll ask. You mentioned the benefits of these powers. What is the extent of this? If I am to consider participating, I think it would benefit me to know what that looks like.
He says, you gain a certain power over humans, the ability to be much more charming, as well as be much stronger than the average person. It seems that the blood also sustains you, making you much easier, or makes you heal much quicker.
And the only real downside is, of course, having to drink the blood of others.
He nods. He says,
Well, I'll not lie to you. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can say something.
I'll say, I'll not lie to you. The proposition is extremely attractive. You know me, perhaps, better than anyone, except for my uncle. And one of the things most important to me in this life is the pursuit of strength, so that I can liberate my mother's people when I go back. And something like this could be extremely valuable in doing that. And with this in mind, I'm inclined to say yes, but there are two issues that arise. One, it couldn't be at this exact moment, I don't think, because the party would know about it. And two, I think that understanding more about the nature of this thirst could be beneficial for both of us. Perhaps, I don't know. I'm tempted to say yes right now, but I don't know what that would mean for me and the others.
He says, we don't have to speak too much of it now. Do you think your friends would be against this?
Yes, I do.
He
Certainly,
nods.
I think that Anna Kate and Sim probably would. They have religious foundations that would, without a doubt, prevent them from participating in a resource like this. Perhaps Gamork as well, given that he is inherently celestial. Reed, maybe he could go for it. I don't know if he would or not. Beryl probably wouldn't. It would probably just scare her more than anything.
He nods. He says, well, like you, my ultimate goal is the strengthening and preservation of our people. I've seen too much lost because of our lack of power, and I feel this gift is our opportunity to take that back and make a destiny for ourselves. I won't keep you too long, as your friends might get suspicious, but you should speak with them, see if any others are interested. I would be happy to bestow the gift on more of you, as I could use all the help I can get in the coming times. And with that, he would say, let's return to them.
Indeed.
Alright, so they come back down the tunnel after a few moments talking. And he says, so for now, I just wanted to get in touch with Meijun and speak with him a bit. It seems like you are all hesitant at this point to help me achieve my goals, which is understandable. We haven't had the friendliest of starts. So
And you are literally a bloodthirsty monster.
give me a persuasion check at disadvantage. He says, there is a thirst inside me, but I do not consider myself a monster.
Fair enough.
I think, Meng, if we could come to an agreement where there was a separation between the current human forces and the vampires, and there would be no short-term risk of conflict, that would give us time to speak with them and come up with a better long-term solution. I think the first step to helping you with your goals is to eliminate the killing of, well, them. I think that if there's going to be any sort of peace here, the thirst has to be nulled for a time.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage. Nope. He says, I believe you're right, June. As usual, you are the diplomat among us.
I actually chuckle. I chuckle and I'll say, yeah, for whatever that's worth.
He smiles and says, but if you are seeking to ally with these humans, then I shall try to avoid more conflict for the time being. It seems there was misunderstandings between all of us as the hostilities were instant when we met each other, but hopefully some kind of understanding can be reached.
I hope so. How long can your lesser pedigree restrain themselves, do you think, before the bloodthirst becomes an issue?
There aren't as many of us now because of the clashes with both the humans and with your people. But we'll figure something out. Don't worry.
Very well.
I'd like to ask, when we dispatched your comrades that attacked us, it seems when they fell, they managed to escape their ultimate demise. Is that normal with your brethren?
He says there are a few of us that are more powerful, thanks to the magics of Malik. Some of us can escape death through that gaseous form, but not all of us can. There's very few, actually. Myself and maybe a handful of others. Malik's favorites, I guess. The originals that he created. Not the spawn that we created after him.
Well, Meng, thank you for seeking us out and being willing to have conversation. That is in short supply in Isaac, unfortunately.
He says, yes, I was very glad to find you were still alive. I had thought for sure this place had taken you, and I would not see you again. It's good to know.
Did.
Oh, he says, well, I'm glad it didn't, and I hope we can help each other. He smiles.
I hope so as well. I will give him like a wuxia salute, like open palm over fist, and then.
He says, if you need to find me again, follow this tunnel. you'll find my people and they will take you to me.
Very well.
I hope to hear from you soon.
I'll give him a nod.
And with that, he motions, and the two spawn, as well as the guy kind of leaning up against the cave quietly this whole time, follow him back into the darkness. And the group is left alone.
Well, it seems a temporary peace has been brokered, at least. Perhaps long enough to figure out if there is a way to deal with this affliction.
Are we actually alone? There's no other vampires hanging around right here right now?
Give me perception checks.
I didn't even fucking think about that, so I'll let you take it. Holy shit.
You don't see... Oh, apparently everyone sees anything.
Okay. Well, now I'm just curious.
So...
Wow, Jesus!
Alright. So actually, alright, well... Sim, Anna, Kate, and Gamork, you would notice, as you're looking around, kind of up near the top of the hole, you would see some movement. But you don't see anyone there. And you would hear something that sounded like footsteps.
Okay, and the other question is there any sign of the people who we invited to follow us?
Probably that is my guess.
Yeah. Or any other sign, I guess.
That might be them.
Are we still
or
in the
one of
hole,
them.
or did we exit?
You're down the hole still.
Okay.
So someone may have been watching your conversation.
Yeah.
So the movement that's been detected was like at the mouth of the cave, and then we were in it.
Well, no, the movement you detected is up at the top where you came down the hole.
But so if they were watching, would they have been close enough to actually hear the conversation?
You're not sure if that's where they were the whole time, or if they heard, or what's going on.
Oh, gotcha.
You just noticed that now when you looked around.
So when
and you
Meg
don't necessarily, so you don't know if it's all of them up there, because you do hear some movement, but it doesn't sound like it's armored. So it might just be one of them.
When Meng and I went to have our one-off, that was further in. So
yeah, that was down the hallway a bit. So you don't think anyone heard that?
Okay.
Well, if we are not to be slaying a nest of vampires today, I am at something of a loss.
Are we? Maybe.
Meijun, I have no strong desire to kill one of your old friends, but I certainly did not think that he was a victim of a curse when we heard of his presence.
Neither did I. I assumed that frankly, I assumed that he was going to be exactly as you described, and that he would have been a bloodthirsty monster and just strictly incapable or uninterested in conversation. But it seems that he has more intelligence than we considered otherwise, and perhaps more interest in diplomacy as well. And I think perhaps at this point our best move might be to speak with the soft spires and let them know what we've discovered, and perhaps that peace of many different factions is a possibility. We have Elodie to speak of, and Cao Meng also to speak of, and for all I know, perhaps there are more of those metal guys to speak of as well. Perhaps there are more people in Issyk than we previously were aware of.
A voice suddenly interrupts metal guys, and you would see the figure Akami appear above, smiling, leaning against the boulder kind of up at the top of the hole. And she says, "What are these metal guys you speak of?"
Well, we saw one, at least. He was, like, it's difficult to describe. He was completely made of metal, more or less. He had a blade that was somehow part of his arm, and a shield as well. He did not seem to be organic, at least, but he had his wits about him, so I don't think that he was a golem either. Kind of looked a bit like a paladin to me, but that's just based on his armor.
Could it be, she says? Warforged. She thinks.
Likely so. They claim to have been created in the 12th age.
Ah,
Oh, yeah,
yes.
fuck, I forget that we actually know about him because of Rayless.
He
I
says,
sounded a lot more smart when I told her about it.
She says, yes, they could have come from the vaults. In fact, I almost guarantee that's where they came from. The vaults, I didn't think they still existed. The vaults under the cathedral. The vaults of the Kultura.
Perhaps it's worth investigating.
So, are you allies with these vampires then? Is this friend of yours, you say they want peace, but vampires don't generally, they're usually creatures of deception and destruction.
So are we like
So
sitting
are
here
many
having
humans.
a conversation from the top and the bottom of a hole, like kind of shouting back and
Well,
forth?
she's kind of walked down a bit as she's talking.
Okay.
Yeah, when she reappeared, she wasn't still up top. She was kind of moved down a bit. She says, why don't you come with me? I'd like you to meet Bakor.
Is
think
that
we should-
one of the men that we fought with earlier?
Yes, Bakor is my stepbrother, and Jazik is his bodyguard.
Oh, that's right. He did. He introduced himself. I mean, yeah.
Bakor is protective of you then. He introduced you as his friend.
She smiles. She says, a bit. But we have the same mother, but different fathers. It's all a bit royal family scandalous. I'm surprised you've never heard of us, the Izmira. Or never heard of his family, anyway.
I
They're
made it a
one
point.
of the... Go ahead, sorry.
I made it a point to have as little to do with nobles as I could.
And I
You-
can't
They
speak
are,
for the rest
You
of
and me
creatures
both, she smiles.
They are often, how do you say it, creatures of deception and violence.
Yes, and my family is actually... Well, we're one of the larger military powers within the Empire. Second only to a few of the other families.
I myself am just not from around here. I don't know very much about the Empire at all.
She says, you're a Tas-1-ese, yes?
That's correct. Well, 50% correct anyway.
She says, I don't see too many of your people around these days. Why don't we get out of here and talk on the way to meet my brother?
That works for me.
Alright. So I assume you're all climbing out of the hole and following?
Yes.
Yep.
Is anyone saying anything else on the way, or are you just traveling with her as she leads you back?
I guess with respect to her asking me whether or not we were allied with the vampires, and I think she mentioned coming, but I forgot what she said. I'll just say I don't know that I would call us allies necessarily, but I do think that an uneasy truce has been struck, and I think that's the first step towards any sort of peace. It seems that what they really desire is to have a slice of Isaac for themselves. Allegedly, they are not under this condition of their own free will, and they are content to deal with it without harming others until such time as the bloodthirst can be dealt with, perhaps magically. it seems that this is more of a curse than an infection.
A curse. Usually, people like him, vampires, are created by other vampires. Was his creation different?
According to him, it was
Right.
his creation.
Do you want to tell her kind of what he had told you?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. Well, let's see. What I don't really trust her, but I do want her to know the circumstances of their situation because I think it might garner them some sympathy and understanding. Yeah, I think I would basically describe it the way that it was described to the group.
All right, so you kind of tell her about Malik and his creation of them as vampires and the powers he bestowed.
Yeah, and I'll specifically say that they were held against their will and only recently released with Malik's downfall. And pretty much the first thing that happened when they gained their freedom is they were attacked on sight because they look like vampires and they are vampires. And so even though they are generally bloodthirsty creatures, it was more or less self-defense, and then it just kind of got out of control.
She thinks as you're kind of explaining all this. Beryl, are your wings showing?
Yes, she hasn't been hiding them.
So as she's walking, she kind of stops suddenly, almost as if coming to some sort of realization. She's like, wait, you're a winged kobold. Are you
Beryl like hunches down a little bit, like kind of a, like maybe a little bit of the old shame coming back because she'd gotten used to the group seeing them, but she hadn't really thought about it. But she would kind of like look ashamed suddenly, and kind of like her wings would droop.
She sort of looks at the rest of you now, and she says, "Are you the tribe?"
In the flesh.
Ah, that makes sense. I was wondering what a group of mercenaries was doing just wandering around Issyk. I've heard great things. It's an honor to meet you all. And she smiles and bows. Well, technically, meeting you all, I've already met you all, but an honor to know who you are.
Thank you very much.
Because I don't think you all introduced yourself as a tribe before, did you?
We did not. I think I just introduced us name by name. Yeah.
Beryl stops punching a little bit and kind of just a real slight little flutter to her wings as she kind of shows some teeth and a little grin.
She says, part of what I do is information gathering, and I actually learned quite a bit about you and the Blackwater child when I was in Char, and about that situation with, what's his name? Who was your, Anna Kate, who was your wizard's name?
Oh.
Jarl.
Jarl. She says, yes, Jarl. I heard a little bit about what had happened with all that, and about Issyk and the stories of you saving Char from the hobgoblins. You all are a bit of a group of celebrities up in these parts. She says, you must be very talented.
We do what we can.
Well...
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I missed something. How does she know Jarl?
She heard about what happened in Char. Apparently they had been in Char before they came here.
I see. Okay.
So they may have been there when you were there even, but maybe you didn't see her or didn't meet her.
Got it.
Because I think you teleported here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
that was
maybe,
out of character, right? She didn't.
Yeah. No, she didn't ask you. No.
Okay.
That was me
I was
asking.
like, wait, what?
I was just trying to remember the timeline. So yeah,
I had to remember for a second. I was like, I don't know.
She must have either had people in Char, or maybe she herself was there when it was happening. You don't know. But in any case, she would continue walking with you and say, hopefully we can work together to accomplish good things for Issyk. But if nothing else, it's very nice to meet you all. As I said, I've heard a lot of good things. Is anyone else saying anything to her before we get to the camp here?
Nope.
No, I don't think so.
Alright, so she would lead you back to the Softspire camp, where it appears there are quite a few more troops, maybe that have arrived recently. In the yard, speaking with some of the troops, you see some familiar faces. And as they see Akami coming into the fort with all of you, they walk up and say, "It is good to see you. See you've returned with the mercenaries." She says, "Not just any mercenaries. These are the tribes, the ones I was telling you a little bit about." And the man's face kind of lights up a bit with realization, and he says, "Ah, yes, I've heard a bit about all of you. I'm sorry if I interrupted your attempt to find the nest of the vampires. Were you able to find them and dispatch them?"
It did not quite go like that.
We did find them. It turns out there was a little bit more to the story than we thought there was, and I'll basically say this is oh fuck, what's his name? Not Jazik, but
Jazik is standing behind him. This is Bakor.
Right. That's it. I was gonna call him Bozic, and I was like, it's not that.
It's not Bozic.
I will basically regale him with probably verbatim, the same explanation that I gave Akami,
Alright,
which
so
is what Cao Ming shared with us as a group.
So he has a million questions after you tell him the story. He says, "Shadowlord. Who is the Shadowlord Malik?" He'll start with that question. Do you want to start telling him about everything that's happened in Issyk?
I would imagine so. I mean, I guess I wasn't there. Actually, probably what I'll do is when he starts asking about like the far back questions, the chronological questions, I'll gesture over at Reed and I'll say, "I wasn't here for all of it. I sort of joined halfway through. Perhaps Reed or Beryl or Anakate can give you a better description."
So Akami sort of senses your hesitation, and she says, Bakor, let them rest a bit. They can talk about it more later. They've just been wandering around Issyk all day." He says, "Perhaps you're right, Akami. My apologies." He says, "Well, it's good to meet all of you. And again, my apologies if I disrupted what you were doing. But the vampires had been causing us a bit of concern, and I felt the three of us with some backup could handle any groups we bumped into, trying to make the surrounding areas more safer to wander through." He says,
Certainly you could have, yes. And please do not apologize. If I were in your shoes, I probably would have done the same thing. It just was in an inconvenient situation is all. And I respect the way that you handled it.
He says, "I am always looking for a good fight," and he smiles. And you notice Jazik just remaining pretty stoic behind him. What's your, give me an insight check.
I'm actually pretty okay at that. Oh, those are the cursed words. Why did I say them?
Anyone can give me an insight check. So, yeah, with 18, you think Jazik is fairly, he's less interested in learning about your group and more just keeping an eye on you. His hand is close to his katana, but not enough to make you, like, suspicious or, like thinking he's hostile, but he looks very well trained and is ready to take someone's head off if they're... Yeah, like he's protecting Bakor right now. You could, even though it's not obvious, you think he's totally in protect his master mode.
Yeah, and so you said earlier you had described it as being like an oversized katana. Is it worn on his hip or is it worn on his back?
It's on his back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost like a greatsword.
Right. All right. Maybe a nodachi.
Yeah, you might actually recognize it because of your heritage.
Oh yeah. Fuck. Okay, cool. I'll just as
And
I
you think
sort of,
he is at least part that
Tasmanians.
heritage as well, yeah.
Okay. As I notice him just sort of, well, yeah, during the conversation, I'll just give him like a knowing nod at some point.
He might just look to you and maybe return the nod.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, in any way, I apologize. You probably wish to rest a bit if you've been walking around the city. There's well, you did you say you had met Softspire yet, Lady Softspire?
We have, yeah.
Okay. Well, if you wish to speak to her more, she is in her usual place. But otherwise, come speak to me once you've had a chance to get settled in and rest, if that's what you need. And Akami might give you a little wink, kind of getting you away from Jazik for now, or
Yes,
away from Bakor.
Bakor. As when I forgot to mention, when Bakor is talking about the vampire threat, I will, I might have said it during my retelling, but just to make sure that I did, I'll specify and say, for the time being at least, we have brokered an uneasy truce with the vampires, and they should not engage with, well, anybody really for the foreseeable future, at least until such time as we can figure out how to assist them with their condition.
And this old friend of yours, you think he is trustworthy? He will honor his word?
I do. I don't know the rest of them from a man in a crowd, but I do trust Kalmang. That is to say, I trusted him the last time that I saw him, so I couldn't tell you rightly whether or not he was manipulating me in some way magically, but I don't think that he was. I think that he meant what he said.
What's the power dynamic here? Are these guys like de facto in charge, or I mean, this is the Softspire camp, so is Lady Softspire in charge of them, or are they kind of like?
Are you asking them?
Can I tell by the way that the soldiers around them they're deferential or?
So the soldiers, a lot of the soldiers in the street are wearing a new symbol, not the Softspire symbol. You would assume it's the Izmira symbol. And there are quite a few more soldiers now than there were before. So you would guess that the Izmira force is quite a bit stronger than the Softspire. If you don't have knowledge history, it's hard to say what the political or power dynamic is between them. They seem to be at some sort of alliance, at least for right now. I mean, they have their forces are together in the same area, so they don't seem to be hostile. But yeah, just by looking, it's hard to say who's in charge of who.
I think the only thing that we know for sure about the Softspire, well, not even for sure, but I remember when we were speaking to this Lady Softspire, it sort of seemed to be this like young leadership type thing where her, what was his name?
Malistray?
Malistray.
Yes, it was Malistray. Was sort of like had considerably more knowledge about things than she did.
Yeah. So one thing you would know, she was talking about her family being a smaller noble family in charge of the mines in, let me see if I can get that name, the nearby town of, I think it was Cairo. Oh no, it was Shavak. So their family has some amount of riches from the mines of Shavak, but if what who was it? I think Akami was saying about Izmira being like the second largest military powerhouse in the Empire. You would imagine the Izmira have quite a bit more pull than the Softspire. If what Akami said was true. But again, knowing specifics, you would have to actually have history and know a little bit about the political balance within the Empire. Alright, so what does the group want to do at this point? You're in the safety of the camp. A couple of soldiers some of the soldiers have kind of found out about who you are and are saying hi and kind of introducing themselves as they find out you're part of the tribe.
I say we take a short rest and discuss strategy and how to move forward from here, and we can maybe talk to Lady Softspire in a bit, in an hour or so.
All right, so
That seems reasonable.
you're gonna take a short rest, and we only have a couple of minutes, but we can talk a bit in character about what the group wants to do next.
Yeah, well, I want to ask Meijun, was there any hint about how this curse could be lifted? I mean, do we have any leads on that?
Not that I'm aware of. I think really the most concrete thing we have is Sim's suggestion that whatever one wizard does, another wizard can undo. I don't even know if something like that is possible, but if it is, I think it's worth checking out. The whole situation seems weird to me in that, like, as we all, well, maybe we don't all know, but as we've perhaps heard, vampires typically make more vampires by, turning them. It's typically not done with magic, or at least that's my understanding. So if it was done with magic, perhaps it can either be undone with magic, or it can be manipulated in such a way that at least the bloodthirst and the requirement for human life is no longer a concern, which I think is the real issue.
Yeah, knowledge religion would actually tell you more about vampires.
Hey,
Okay.
come on, my religious folk.
That's the one time I don't get that. There you go, Sam.
It's the cleric.
All right. So yeah, Sim, you would know there are many different types of vampires. The higher powered ones are extremely dangerous due to their charm abilities and their abilities to kind of blend into human society, almost disappear within the ranks of the nobility and kind of indulge themselves with the death and suffering of humans while kind of elevating their own status within whatever community they're part of. Often they can go for quite a long time doing damage to the community and to the people without ever being discovered, which is what makes them so dangerous. Lesser vampires are often more agents of chaos and are more just problems in the immediate short term, as they can kill lots and lots of people in gruesome ways, like tearing them apart and basically feasting on them, but usually they're put down pretty quickly because they're not in control of their abilities as much as the higher ranking ones. And you would know a lot of the stuff about them as being, as monsters, like they're vulnerable to sunlight, generally only operating at night. They can be like staked, they're vulnerable to holy water. They have lots of weaknesses, but lots of strengths as well. Usually, there's a very specific way one would hunt a vampire. If that helps at all.
Yeah, alright.
Do we need to talk to this Elodie woman then? Is she the one that we think can undo this curse?
Perhaps. Or perhaps we leave it to Chiron and Lyra and Melody and do research. I have, frankly, no idea. I'm more hoping at this point than anything.
If I remember correctly, Melody is here in the Softspire camp, isn't she?
Oh, fuck, you're right. She is, because she was...
Yeah. Like, I
No,
think Lyra...
You sent
Lyra's...
her...
Wait.
I thought Melody went to the library.
Yeah.
Did
No,
she?
you're
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Lyra and
Okay.
Chiron.
She was
So
here.
at
We
some
took her to
point-
the library. Yes.
Yeah, they're
Okay,
working
so
on
at
a
some
way
point
of
we
finding
need to go back and
Shock
see
right
where
now.
Chiron stands, because he and Lyra have been researching.
Yeah. I think that
Although-
might have only been like yesterday or something, but we can still go
Yeah.
check and see if they've turned anything up.
For
And
sure.
then while they're there, or while we're there, we can say also, do you know anything about how to un-vampire somebody?
On vampires.
Alright. Is this a good place
Like
to stop?
the resource team, or the research team that we have on retainer.
Yeah,
Chiron and
Have
Lyra.
them look into it.
Yeah, I think this is a decent spot.
Yeah.
And next time, what is the group going to look into, do you think, so I can plan a little bit?
Right now, it seems like there's a lot of converging interests on that Dwarven Cathedral. The Softspires want it. Elodie wants access to the tablet. I forget, someone else mentioned something. Oh, the Warforged might be coming out from under it, it sounds like, from what it comes.
Yeah, that's what
According
Akami
to-
said.
It
Yeah.
seems like we actually need to figure out which people are going to try to lay a claim on it and whether something can be brokered. And there's lots of parties involved, all of who sort of vaguely trust us to run messages for them.
Yeah, it seems like there are a lot of factions right now.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it
I think
seems
that
like
is definitely a big point of converging interests. I would say for our personal goals, there's a lot of reason to go to the library because we need to see if there's anything turned up about the Shadowfell, and also potentially to plant the seed of knowledge about vampires.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think those two things
And
are probably the most outstanding to me. Anyway.
we don't know where the Alhoons have gone either, do we? We haven't figured that out.
No.
No.
Yeah.
So,
No.
I think it would be nice to actually get representatives from as many factions as possible to sit down in one place so that A, we can maybe try to exert some leverage, and B, so we can kind of get out of the middle of all this. I think our biggest interest here is just preventing all-out war enough that we can pursue our own things around the city. And we can't really do that while we're running messages for everyone and no one knows what's going on.
That seems wise. Perhaps it would be prudent to have some sort of conversation where we can introduce interested parties to each other, assert that ultimately everybody is interested in peace in one way or another, and the only people really who don't want peace are the Alhoons, so we should kill them.
Yeah, it seems the Azmira are probably recent arrivals to this place. So you have them, you have the Warforged, you have Elodie, the vampires, and I think that's it, right? And the Softspires.
The Softspires, yeah.
Oh, and you do have the Sword Wraiths as well.
Right, and the Sword
Oh,
Wraith.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's a lot of
What
factions,
is that?
but
What is that? 6?
So our goal is to like assemble the caucus of Isaac.
I think it would be a good idea. It's just like, we want to be able to move around the city, and that's not going to happen until we can get some of this at least vaguely hashed out with everyone aware of everyone else.
It's time for some politics. You knew it was coming.
Yep.
But, alright, so we'll possibly look into speaking with all the different factions next time and getting everyone on the same page.
We're gonna figure out how to turn Cao Meng into Edward Cullen.
I still kind of just want to kill him, but that's me, not Sam.
I brought you rabbits. Eat these rabbits.
Eat these rabbits.
I don't think there's any wildlife around Isaac though. Isn't everything dead?
No, unfortunately, everything's pretty dead here.
So
So let
true
me...
blood style.
Yeah,
Chemical blood replacements.
there you go.
Yeah.
Get some
Ooh.
alchemy going up in here.
That's what we need. We need just synthetic human blood. There you go.
It's alchemy checks. Barrel's on it. Barrel's going to be like the
Barrel.
synthetic
Make-
blood maker.
You're
mixing
actually retiring. You never get to go north to the Wyvern. You have to stay here and maintain permanent peace between fucking vampires.
Like
Well, how about
maintain
that?
political peace.
Someone else can learn the recipe. You just need to develop the formula. It'll be fine.
That's true.
Just Dr. Barrel with their their white lab coat on.
Yes.
Alright, why don't we do MVP votes? And we could wrap here. Yeah, vegan vampires. There we go. Alright, I got 4 votes.
Oh, just a really logistical question. How are we supposed to keep track of inspiration?
So what I do is I make a custom item in my inventory. Just call it inspiration, and then you can count them.
Are you using Roll20 or Beyond?
I'm kind of using both, but I'm mostly on Beyond.
So Roll20 does have a thing called a resource, and you can
Alright.
add a new one and call it inspiration points and just do whatever of 10, because you can only have up to 10.
Right. Okay. That seems simple enough.
Yeah.
I do dumb shit way too frequently to have 10.
Well, it's, I mean, that's what they're there for.
Yeah.
So May June with 4 votes, your MVP. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Good
Tends to
job.
happen when the story spotlight's on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was sort of a little bit of
Little
your
May June
backstory
arc.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
It always happens.
Oh, I guess I didn't even. I had just assumed by his picture, but does Kalmang, apart from his vampiric appearance, is he similarly armed to the last time that I saw him?
Yeah, so he would still have his large weapons on him that you remember him having.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, thanks all for the wonderful session. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for allowing me to have a little May June session.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Better.
everyone enjoyed it.
Yep.
But yeah, so I'm going to take some notes, but you're all free to take off, and I'll see you all next time.
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah,
Night,
have a
everyone.
good
Good
evening.
night, everybody.
Good night.
Oh, that's right, you guys leveled up. Level 11. I believe it's February already. Ian, were you looking to talk to me about something? Or Steve? Alright, well, hopefully everyone on the stream enjoyed the story, and I'll see you all next time.